If somebody knows the answer to this, who provided the voice of Kit in the 2008 reboot of Knight Rider via Zoom? We're checking in with Austin. Hey, Austin, how you doing, man?
Morning. Good. How are you guys? You guys rock.
Thanks, bud. Appreciate it. All right, so who was the voice of Kit in the 2008 reboot, please?
Val Kilmer.
Yeah. Rest in peace. It was Val Kilmer. Hang on, bud. Got you some tickets. 4-pack of them for Monster Energy Supercross Saturday, April 12th, Lincoln Financial Field. Tickets are on sale now. Visit supercrosslive.com for all the details. All right, we spent a lot of time on birthdays, so let's get right to this. Speaking of Val Kilmer, sources have shared that his passing, that he had been in serious decline for a long time, leaving him bedridden for years until
Didn't know
death.
that.
Yeah.
Did not know that.
While the late actor was cancer-free, his body had been weakened by years of treatment for throat cancer. According to a source, he said Val was very frail near the end of his life, and his death was not sudden. His family and friends were gathered by his side. He was hospitalized earlier this year and saw his health taking a major turn in the past week or two. And it also turns out that a video he posted in February wearing a Batman mask was not an accurate depiction of his condition. The source clarified that that was actually filmed years ago. His last public appearance was at the Thespians Go Hollywood Gala in 2019 with his daughter, Mercedes. And she confirmed that he passed away of pneumonia. So terrible news, and it's unfortunate that it happens that way sometimes, gang. Something a little bit nicer or lighter, I should say. Glenn Powell stopped by today with Jenna and friends this week and dodged questions about his relationship with actress Sydney Sweeney. No, dude, they're not seeing each other.
Oh, they're doing it.
The actress recently broke off her engagement with Jonathan Davino and was seen at the wedding of Powell's sister shortly after, leading fans to think the two might be a bit more than friends now. Host Jenna Bush Hager pushed for details, asking him, the wedding caused a little bit of a stir. Did that surprise you? And he easily handled the line of questioning and said, timing is everything in this world. And he answered it with a laugh. He said, Leslie and Sid are obviously great friends, and it was a hell of a wedding.
Why didn't you shut up, bitch?
Rumors of the two of them started when they were first promoting that movie, Anyone But You, but nothing's been confirmed. In fact, this week, his mom came out and denied that the two were anything other than friends. Ma! So, this is a terrible story, and I don't really report on the Real Housewives that often, but Teddy Mellencamp's health struggles continue. The reality star revealed that doctors have discovered 4 more tumors on her brain.
Cannot catch a break.
During an emergency MRI. She said to Us Weekly, I'm fighting for my life. But also for my family's life and all the people I love. She was first diagnosed with brain tumors just in February and has since been chronicling her struggles on social media. The battle is taking its toll. She stopped using her famed "Moms always come back" catchphrase with her family. She said, I have not said that line to them since I've been back from the hospital. They all know that I'm fighting the hardest I possibly can, but I haven't said it because I don't want to lie to them. So I hope something breaks in her way soon. 90s action star Jean-Claude Van Damme. Don't talk about him that often.
No, not a lot.
Facing allegations that he knowingly had sexual relations with multiple women that he knew to be trafficked. Criminal charges have reportedly been filed against the actor in Romania over the matter. Van Damme is accused of having received 5 Romanian women as a, quote, gift with prior knowledge that they came from a group of traffickers, according to the criminal complaint. The incident occurred at Cannes, so French authorities are now involved in this and must authorize criminal proceedings, and the suspects identified in the case will be summoned to Romania to give statements. So we will see what happens with that.
Yeah.
Speaking, though, of having 5 partners or so, different story, Fran Drescher is enjoying life these days. 67 years old, by the way, and she told Page Six in an interview that she has a little rotation of friends with benefits who keep her company.
And she's in a relationship, is she not?
I think so. When the outlet seemed surprised, she said, I'm Fran Drescher. What do you think? She went on to explain that part of the reason why she maintains uncommitted romantic relationships is that she and her ex-husband, Peter Jacobson, are still very close. They met when she was 15. They married in 1978. They stayed together till their separation in 1996, and they finalized their divorce 3 years after Jacobson eventually came out as gay. This isn't the first time that she's revealed that she maintains a friends with benefits relationship. In 2020, she told Page Six the same, adding that at the time she saw one person twice a month. The actress also revealed that the Broadway musical adaptation of The Nanny has been paused. She's never going to resurrect it. But between the actor strike, my dad passing away, and now the Palisades fires, which impacted my house, there's only so much I can do.
Will she play the nanny? Because I heard they were working with De Niro on that.
And it's possible. I mean, with a star power like that.
Oh, my God.
Drescher added that...
liar, whore, and you know it.
It's a much more aggressive nanny.
Drescher added that it's important to be in the right frame of mind to begin necessary work on a project, and she's not quite there yet.
She's had a brutal life. I mean, she was raped by intruders who tied her up.
Whoa, really?
Yes, and her husband sat there and was forced to watch.
Oh my God!
I believe she went after that, Steve. Didn't she? Like Dan Aykroyd kind of took her under his wing and helped her get past
her career, and everything.
All that.
Yeah. He was a godsend in her life.
Yeah, she's had some interesting and very difficult and unfortunate things happen in her life. Deborah Norville, the longtime anchor of the Daily News, is wrapping up the Daily News show, I should say, is wrapping up her career as host of Inside Edition. She told viewers yesterday that after 30 years, she's moving on. I said, it's been such an honor and privilege to be here at Inside Edition for all these years. A milestone like this is a time for reflection, and on reflection, I've decided that now is the time to move on.
Now, I heard she was playing the nanny on Broadway, isn't she?
She said, they made me a lovely offer to stay, but there are things I'd like to do and places I want to do them that continuing here doesn't permit. So at the end of the season, I'll be moving on.
The story with her is pretty wild because she was brought on the Today Show to replace Jane Pauley. And I remember, and I'm sure you remember this as well, Preston, it had all the trappings of the beloved Jane Pauley being replaced by a younger, perceived more attractive, and she just caught so much blowback that was sort of unfair. Yeah. But now she's had a long run in this job.
Yeah.
30 years ain't too shabby.
She's actually set to host a new syndicated game show called The Perfect Line in the fall. I don't know anything about that.
You just have to draw a straight line.
That's it? Whoever draws a perfect line.
That's pretty good.
Wow.
Look at this.
Let's go to our judges.
All right.
Yeah.
I did this.
You won.
All right. So, former partners and new parents, Megan Fox and MGK, Machine Gun Kelly. How are they navigating parenthood? Well,
how are they?
Because they're split up. So according to what sources tell Us Weekly, Fox is calling the shots and he is towing the line. They said Megan is allowing Kelly to be there and be in their daughter's life. It's all her.
There's stuff in her diaper.
It's all her rules under her roof right now, and he has been on his best behavior. She just focused on their baby and is so in love. And the baby was born on March 27th. And they've been...
No, it is poop.
That was pre-recorded, by the way. And on a couple of years, they've been off and on for a couple of years, and they split late last year. So they're going to do whatever they can.
Yeah, come on.
Make it happen. Yeah.
Stop it.
So for fans of the Hunger Games franchise, the odds are definitely in their favor. It was revealed at CinemaCon that the latest chapter based on the novel Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins will be filming this summer. And it centers, the story centers on Hamish Abernathy, who was portrayed by Woody Harrelson in the films, 25 years before Katniss Everdeen takes part in the games, because he was a Hunger Games
So this
contestant.
is when he was still working at Cheers.
Might have been when he was still at Cheers, Steve. The movie's expected to hit theaters November 26th of next year.
The original trilogy I enjoyed. Each subsequent film I enjoyed less.
Yeah.
I didn't see the reboot film that with...
Oh, yeah, that came out like a couple of years ago.
I didn't either. I thoroughly enjoyed the books.
in fact, you said that from the beginning. You liked the books better.
I thought the movies were just okay.
Yeah.
And the last book, they made 2 movies out of it, I think. And, it was just kind of lame at the end of it.
I loved the series. I thought the first one was definitely the best. I liked the other ones. But I think it was, I forget which one it was. It was not the first one. But I was watching it on a plane and I was in a middle seat and I had like work headphones. So I had like the big headphones. I think I was was traveling with like my computer or iPad, something. It was a decent sized screen, and something happened in it. It was like a jump scare, and I screamed, jumped. The headphones went flying off, and again, middle seat of a plane, and both people. It wasn't that extreme, but it was a jump, and the people next to me were hysterical laughing.
Oh, that's funny. I love it. So the first two movies have. Wait, no, that's another
Now
story.
you're on to
I put that
Spider-Man.
away. All right, on to Spider-Man, Beyond the Spider-Verse.
He's in the Hunger Games?
It's finally set. Well, that'd be a little unfair, wouldn't it? I mean, he'd win, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But, without all the multiverse stuff, they could probably do it.
That would be crossovers like that would be a
Would be kind
trip,
of
wouldn't they?
interesting.
Yeah.
The Nanny and Spider-Man. Oh, my God, he's got webs in his wrist.
Or her in the Hunger Games.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Not even a nosh.
Well, Beyond the Spider-Verse is finally set to head to theaters June 4th of 2027. That's what we're going to have to wait till. I know. The third entry into the Spider-Verse franchise was originally scheduled to hit theaters in March of last year. So it just missed its original deadline by about 3 years.
Just do it right. That's all they need to do. Take as much time as you need, but do it as well as you did the last one.
So it's pushed back for a number of reasons. The strike and also...
and he's playing the Nanny on Broadway.
that too, and a ton of work for the animators to make. So the first two movies have been very critically successful, as well as financial, raking in over $1 billion so far.
I really like the first one. The second one I found to be so kinetic, and
yeah.
it was, to me, I was not really able to pay attention to it because it was like there was so much bouncing around and one multiverse after another. I don't know. I just didn't enjoy it, and I really thought the first one was brilliant.
Yeah.
Loved it, and I had the exact same complaint. And I'm sitting there and I'm going, is it just that my old brain is not
Steve,
can process
I was
this?
thinking the same damn thing. I was like, am I too old to enjoy this?
Yeah.
Maybe, because I thought the same thing,
All
too.
right, all right.
Not me.
You liked it? You like both?
Because he's so young.
Yeah, I'm maybe just a younger mindset than the
That
rest
must
of
be
you
it.
guys. Yeah.
He just lives life to his fullest.
Yeah.
He must have been wearing your cool pants.
Wear my fancy pants.
Fancy sweatpants. So the highly anticipated Michael Jackson biopic Michael from director Antoine Fuqua.
Whoa.
You better dump
Jeez.
that.
Well, hang on. Is it?
It's Fuqua.
Is it Fuqua?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought it was Faqua with an A.
dirty word.
I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh.
No.
Better jump that.
Drop the F-bomb.
Might be expanding into 2 movies, which could delay
You're a bad
its
boy.
planned October 3rd release.
Punish you. Look at my anus. What?
Kathy, remind me to tell you something.
Okay,
All right.
about an
About
anus?
his anus.
Well, yes, actually, yes.
Oh, jeez.
I have to remember to tell Kathy about my anus.
Okay, well, I'll tell you right now.
Oh, all right,
Yeah.
I finally watched the 5th episode of White Lotus last night. Were you texting about Sam Rockwell's story he was telling about to Walton Goggins?
Okay, no, that is insane.
Oh my God! All right, anyway,
All right,
never
okay,
mind.
You're
Never
not gonna say
mind.
anything else.
I was laughing
I'm
my
like,
ass off.
What?
Sam Rockwell makes a cameo in the show.
That's my
and,
understanding.
Oh my
And
God,
their
his
exchange.
dialogue is hilarious.
And it's my understanding that a good portion of that is improvisation.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't doubt it.
He was really good.
All right, anyway,
All right, enough of that.
back to Michael.
Stop talking about Michael's anus.
Wait, what?
So while the project was a big hit at last year's Lionsgate CinemaCon, new footage was shown at the event this year, and it reportedly wrapped principal photography last May, but script revisions are underway before reshoots. With a budget of around $155 million, Michael stars Jackson's nephew, Jafar Jackson, in his first major role, alongside Coleman Domingo, Nia Long, and Miles Teller.
So I saw a clip, and it's got to be from this. It is from this movie. It is Michael crawling through an air duct saying, "Come out to the coast, we'll have a nap."
I didn't know they were going to go there with
Yeah,
this.
yeah. And he has like a cigarette lighter in one hand.
So anyhow, it may turn into 2 movies. We'll have to see. All right, one last thing, then we'll move on to the clips. John Krasinski and Natalie Portman and their team go all Indiana Jones in the thrilling adventure film Fountain of Youth. The 2 stars play estranged siblings coming together again to search for the legendary landmark in the film's title. The movie also stars Domhnall Gleeson,
Oh, good.
Carmen Ejigo, Laz Alonso, Stanley Tucci, and Isa Gonzalez.
So I don't know
Isa
if this is in that description or there's any part of this in that description that there is a bit of a Lara Croft element to it as well.
No, it only mentions Indiana Jones.
All right.
But with if Natalie Portman is playing an adventurer, then I can see her, maybe taking on a little bit of that vibe. So it debuts on Apple TV on May 23rd. So it's an Apple TV thing. We
Okay,
can expect
I'm
it's
down with
probably
that.
pretty solid quality because they have a good track record. All right. Do we have clips? Mystery clips?
Yep. Oh, sorry. Right here.
Thank you.
What is it?
So Martin Ford stars as the biblical figure, the Goliath, in House of David. In this clip, he explains how creating a background for the characters adds the narrative of his role on the show.
It would have been very easy to just keep Goliath as that big brute that, doesn't have a backstory and he's just a horrible person that everyone hates and he hates the world and he just wants to kill people. And to create this backstory and to also give Goliath the chance to have people sympathize with him.
Shut the f*** up!
The finale of House of David is streaming today. That is on Prime Video. Here's our next clip. The Bondsman follows Kevin Bacon playing a man who gets a second chance in life from the devil to hunt down demons. And in this clip, he tells how he wanted to keep his character grounded with all the chaos going on.
When it came to Hub, I wanted him to feel like a real person. He's a guy that has this job as a bail bondsman, and he's kind of gotten stuck in it. He gave up his dreams being a musician. You see him just basically at work. This is just what he's doing. Then everything goes nuts.
Quick question here.
Yep.
So I watched some advance on this. Sometimes they do not know how to sell these shows. I would have had no idea that it has the devil in it and he's hunting down demons.
I've only seen like the poster for it.
Yeah.
So I haven't seen any trailers or anything. The trailer
I wanna
doesn't really
watch it
touch
now.
on it. The trailers don't really touch
Not
on
that I saw.
the demonic thing.
No.
Huh. All right. I like the concept. It almost sounds a little like
Constantine.
Ghost Rider a little bit.
Or Ghost Rider. Yeah.
So season 1 of The Bondsman is now on Prime Video. And that is our entertainment.
I'm going to
report
write
for
that
this
down.
morning. Jot that down, buddy. All right, so we have a few things going on this morning. First and foremost, when we return, an announcement. Some cool information you may want to be privy to. We will also have Adam Hutter of the World Oddities Expo stopping by this morning. It's taking place this weekend, Pennsylvania Convention Center, and he'll bring by a trove of interesting things for us to check out that you'll be able to see in person. We also have Eric Andre on the show around 9 o'clock, joining us via Zoom. That should be pretty solid. And our friends from Red Robin are stopping by this morning. So we'll have some giveaways, some food for you. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back in a moment. Make sure you stay with us, all right?
Preston and Steve.
It is National Cheesesteak Day. Yes, it is. Got an email that says, "Hey, Preston and Steve Show, happy National Cheesesteak Day from Whizzle Truck. We were at the Camp Out for Hunger last November.
They're great.
And we are just about to hit our 1-year anniversary of being in business. Over 100 events in the area in such a short time. And today we're feeding some well-deserved hungry people at Pico. Couldn't think of a better way to celebrate the day. Sincerely, that is from Chris and the rest of the Whizzle team.
Whizzle faux shizzle.
Shizzle, baby. I'm not going to have a cheesesteak today. I'm kind of watching what I'm eating. I'm trying to hit some weight goals. I hit my little goal earlier this week, and I want to hit my medium goal by tomorrow.
So your weekend, though, you give yourself a little latitude.
I think I'm gonna. Yeah, weekend I always give myself a latitude. We've got a Pudge's nearby us, which makes a great cheesesteak. So I might go by there and celebrate National Cheesesteak Day a couple of days.
It's been forever since I've had a classic.
Really?
Like a classic cheesesteak that are you can find them anywhere. Here we live in Cheesesteak Central, but calorically it's always a tough thing to reconcile. But if you're going to go all in on the weekend, you give yourself a bit of a cheat. Yeah, I have to think now where I want to go, what I want to get.
I have a friend who's a member at a golf club, country club called Applebrook, and they make when you go to like an upper level where they use really quality meat and stuff like that, it's to die for. So I'm going to have to dive into one soon.
I don't think about calories ever. Like I really, I don't.
I got you.
But I'll probably do a cheesesteak every probably 5 or 6 weeks or something like that. Yeah, and I have Thunderbird is the place that I go to. That's just the
It's a wonderful place, and everyone has a great time. We cut the meat thinly.
Yeah, it's slicely thinned or thin sliced.
Slicely
Thinly sliced. No.
Thin slicely.
Thinned slicely.
And our chefs, Ert and Bernie, will take care of it.
No, it's Bernie and Ert.
Bernie and Ert, please.
But there is right down the street from them is Delco Steaks, and they are making waves in Delaware County as far as cheesesteaks are concerned.
And just because they're so tasty?
Yeah,
They have a wave machine.
They do have a weight machine. No, no. Their approach to the cheesesteak is
They're redefining it?
no. It's more akin to like your Pat's, Geno's, Jim's. It's
Okay.
It's just real good quality stuff.
Sometimes if you just make it in the classic sense, with, as Preston was saying, the best ingredients, you become a thing.
But they're also not far from each other, so you really can't go wrong. But so National Cheese, is it National or is it Philly Cheesesteak Day?
Today's National Cheesesteak Day. That's how it's been quantified. I don't think it's National Philly Cheesesteak Day.
So there'll probably be some sort of ceremony at Arlington or something.
I told you when I see the words Philly cheesesteak, I'm like, that's not the real deal.
No.
Just immediately I think of that. But whatever.
Yeah. There's a place that Casey's recommended to me that I still haven't been. It's called Nick Filet. I think they have 2 or 3 locations at this point. There's one in Paoli, but I've heard that their cheesesteaks are banging, and they use, Preston, like really good cuts of meat, and it's like a standalone kind of steakhouse. It's not at all like a fancy place. I think the one in Paoli used to be like Roy Rogers or something. But anyway, I want to check that out.
Nick, and you just started talking about variation and Wilson's.
Oh man, they were here yesterday.
Yeah,
apparently they stopped by and had some goodies.
Meatless. They're
you like the impossible one. Yeah,
holy effing
it's
hell!
good too. It doesn't taste like a regular cheesesteak. It's something different.
Yeah,
and it's fantastic.
It's funny, Nick. I've recommended Nick Filet, but I've never actually been. I've only ridden my bike past
son
it.
of a
Wait
bitch.
a minute.
No,
you'll recommend places you've never been to?
No, I didn't actually recommend. I probably just asked if he's ever been because A, it's Nick.
No, you said it was the best place you'd ever been.
That's
you
a
were like,
lie.
I love
That
it
is
so much.
You will eat nowhere else but this place.
But there's
it
only
looks really good from the outside.
two locations that I know about. One is in Paoli on Route 30, and then there's another one right on Beach Avenue in Cape May.
Now I'm trying to think if I've ever recommended a place I've never been to before to somebody. I'm sure I have at one time. And you need to go there.
Great.
Never been there, but you need to go there.
I did on this show one time.
What
I had
it?
recommended Flex ice cream in the villas. And then somebody was like, you ever been? I'm like, no, I haven't, but my cousins have been there.
My cousins have been there. We don't. Well, we do know.
But I have been there since.
All right.
You ever recommend a movie that you haven't seen?
No.
I probably have. But hey, I heard great things.
Yeah. So anyhow, thank you to Wizzles for getting in touch with us this morning. And National Cheesesteak Day. So get out and celebrate and enjoy, if you will.
There's a wealth of places to go to.
We're very lucky. We had the one guy who had rated 1,000 of them. You remember? Took 4 years, 3 years, something like that, and eventually got through all of them. And I did have the full list printed up here, and I'm like, what am I doing with this? I'm never going to...
What, are you going to will it to your kids?
Yeah, I'm never going to go through this. I eventually threw it away, but there's some good suggestions there.
Well, sometimes I fall, though. Again, it's been years. Well, no, I've had the Wilsons. So that's still a cheesesteak.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I amend my statement.
Yeah.
Speaking of eating, I saw this interesting survey. It was done in the UK, but could definitely be tailored to pretty much anywhere. It's a new survey of 2,000 adults, and they asked them about their secret snacking spots.
Secret snacking spot.
Okay. And so, if you're Kathy, you eat nowhere but the kitchen or the dining room.
Oh, like actual locations in your house?
Yeah.
Right.
Sneaking.
You will not bring food upstairs. You will not hide stuff under the pillow.
No.
No.
Definitely not.
Do you have to? You have to eat in the kitchen?
Wait, but hold on. Why are they secret?
Okay.
Oh, well, go ahead. Explain.
I had a secret snacking spot.
Why?
And I do too.
I'll explain in a little bit. But you go ahead.
Sometimes we won't have sweets in our section of the house. but my mom always does in the basement. So
Okay, so you sneak
I
down
will
there?
sneak down there.
Okay, all right,
and it's
all right.
even better if she's not there.
I got it.
Because then I will go absolutely crazy.
Then you can put a bra on.
That's stealing is what that is.
Does she come home and she's like, what happened to my...
No. She has more sweets than she can handle. I
Okay,
mean,
all right.
she's like a bird anyway.
He's like Norman Bates in the basement.
That's funny.
Casey's there with the wig on, sitting in the rocking chair, eating Charleston chews.
I mean, Kathy, last night, for instance, I finished my dinner. I worked out hard yesterday, okay? I ran. I did a whole bunch of stuff. I earned it.
Earned it.
Okay. So I opened my
He
freezer.
likes to neutralize it.
Okay. I opened my freezer, and the ice cream that I was expecting to be there was not there. And we had no other sweets in the house. And so I snuck on down to my mom's and I grabbed some. And it was like leftover Christmas candy, a cookie or two.
Or two.
Ice cream.
Yeah.
Some of her medication.
Just a little bit.
All right, so
She's not going to use all this amoxicillin.
the secret snacking spots, and feel free to share yours if you will, 215-263-WMMR. So there's 20 of them, and number 20 on this list was my secret snacking spot inside a freezer room at work. So when I work...
Oh, my God.
You too?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
At McDonald's.
Yeah, when I worked at York Steakhouse, that was the name of the place. I was the food bar attendant. I've told you guys this before. I would, because I wore an apron. Okay, and it had an apron, had pockets on it.
Big pockets.
And I would grab stuff from the food bar and slip it in my pocket.
So it's stuff you shouldn't have been eating.
And then I would go into the freezer and eat it.
No,
That was my secret.
So that's why you have
snacking
to have to sneak.
Yeah, you're hiding from
You're
one.
hiding
There's
from-
still
okay,
an
gotcha.
application, though,
Not
at
all
home.
of them. Some of these are other
Okay.
than hiding. But
If you want to hide, if you're going to go, you have something that you want to eat out of your significant other's eyesight,
right.
then that's really what it is.
Like in the
Okay.
movie, This is 40.
This is 40.
Remember, he's out over the
With the-
trash
with the
can.
muffins.
Oh, it's what you...
eating
Yeah.
muffins and things like that.
When you have children,
She doesn't know.
When you have children, they are like seagulls, Steve. If a seagull sees another seagull eating a French fry, it flies immediately over there.
Right.
So if you
don't
eating,
want to share.
if you are eating anything that is slightly delicious and your kids see it, they're like, "Well, what is that? And can I have some?"
By the way, going back to you, Casey, a texter says Casey's mom probably buys extra snacks for him.
Isn't that sweet?
Because
Probably
she
does.
knows he's down there doing
You're
it.
going to put the rat poison in these.
The walk-in freezer at McDonald's was a really good hiding spot for a number of ideas. One was sneaking food. The other, like if it was just a hot day in the summer,
Yeah.
you could go in there. And the door was so damn heavy that if anybody was ever going to like come in and check in on you, you got a warning. So if
Yeah, you had time.
You had time. So if
Yeah.
you're like shoving, a few extra nuggets in down your gullet,
Did it have a release on the inside?
you could,
Okay.
in theory, get locked in there.
Oh, boy.
And so I don't think anybody would ever die inside one of those bad boys, but like you could definitely get locked in because the lock, Steve, was from the outside. So if somebody
Right.
slipped a little pin through
Yeah.
the handle, you could get stuck inside.
He had,
that was
he
the
had
thing.
nuggets in his mouth.
All right, so other secret sneaking snack spots are in the basement, in a closet.
I don't eat in the basement.
Who's going in their closet to eat?
I probably, yes, I guess.
Well,
there are people who will
why?
go. There are people, like Casey said, in some cases, depending on the size of the closet, you don't want to invite the troops to join in. This is my thing. I'm going to eat it by myself, and I don't want to be discovered.
Or
MMR.
Thank you, Kathy. So how's about we make a little bit of an announcement here, friends? We're happy to see this event return. We've done it for a few years now, and it has been so much fun. So we are excited to reinvigorate you and get you signed up for the Preston and Steve Show live band karaoke at the MMRBQ. It is the Preston and Steve Show side stage. Yes, a few years ago, they decided to give us our own stage.
And we haven't looked back.
No. And so what we do, if you're not aware, I think a lot of people probably do know what we do, but just in case you're not informed, we have your average everyday people who have never had a chance to get up on stage and sing with a professional band. So they're going to be backed up by this great group called Sidearm, who can play pretty much anything.
It's amazing, their repertoire.
And so this is not a pre-recorded track with a dinky little speaker system that you stand up on a little box and sing at your local pub. No, this is a full-on stage with fantastic musicians in a live environment with a crowd that gets into it. That's one of the coolest things about this is because, these are just essentially average everyday people singing on stage, and the crowd loves that aspect of it.
That is a wonderful point. Lose any fear that you're going to be vilified or excoriated or that produce is going to be thrown at you. They're incredibly supportive. Everyone's in that vibe.
Yep.
And I love the way. In fact, we've had spontaneous mosh pits erupt during performances.
So here's what we're going to do. We're going to get you to audition for this. All right. All you have to do is go to WMMR.com and click contest, and you will submit a YouTube link of you singing. And I haven't checked on how it's going to be done this time around. The past, we've given a selection of songs just so we make it easier and the songs aren't too obscure for the band. I mean, they can play pretty much everything, but these are working guys and they may not have all the time in the world to go and learn songs that they may not already learn or may be too difficult. So that's why it works out that way. The entry deadline is April 21st at 11 a.m. Here's what I want you to do. If you don't think that you would participate in something like this, I'll bet you know somebody who would. And I would like you to let them know about it just in case the word doesn't get out to them. And you might have to be the friend, the buddy that goes, hey, you should do this. I know you love it, and you should get up on stage and be a part of this whole thing. And just encourage them to make a quick YouTube. It's very easy to do with your phone. Make a video, boom, send it over. And the next thing you know, 10 singers will be chosen. Each gets a 4-pack of MMRBQ tickets.
There you go.
So you get to bring friends with you or family or whomever, and then you can invite other people to buy tickets and go and enjoy the day of the MMRBQ. So you get to sing, you get to go to the show. It's a full, well-rounded rock day.
I love it so much, and I love the reaction, and I love seeing people who've always sort of flirted with the notion of being on stage finally realize that dream.
I love the idea of you encouraging your friend who can sing, who can carry a tune, but maybe is just a little bit shy and doesn't want to, So I'm going to say this right now. My son, you're listening right now. Get your buddy Dom to do this.
Dom a good singer?
Dom's a really good singer. His younger brother is actually a really, really good singer, but he's a little on the young side. But Dom, he's 18 years old.
Do it.
You do it.
Do it.
Right.
Do it now.
Do it now. All right, so WMMR.com has all the information, and we want you to get on board for that. Like we said, the deadline is April 21st, so move on this now, all right, before it becomes too late. And then we will see you May 10th at the Freedom Mortgage Pavilion for MMRBQ.
Love it.
And the President Steve Show side stage. And we're celebrating our 20 years. Here is the President Steve Show on WMMR with some things planned. We'll see how that all comes together.
That's pretty crazy, 20 years. I mean, we've been doing it for 27 years. My mom told me last week we were talking. She's like, she worked at the post office for 24 years, she told me. I go, 24 years, huh? I'm like, I've been doing what I've been doing for 27 years.
So shit. Get back in the basement. No, but anything like that is an achievement.
Yeah.
Again, we lose sight of it. I can't process it that it's been that long. Just 20 years here at MMR. Yeah. But the barbecue will serve as our celebration.
Yep. So check the website and encourage people, if you're not going to do it yourself, to get on board. And then we'll see you at the MMRBQ. I saw this interesting Reddit topic that I thought would be kind of fun to throw out to people listening. If you want to jump in with your opinion, feel free to. You can text the word Zoom to 610-660-9333. We'll send a link to you, and you can jump on and comment on this. But there were the question was posed as to what profession will you never date? So you find out, you see somebody, maybe they're attractive, it looks like you might have a connection, but you find out they do this, and it's like, nope, that's a deal breaker.
It's a deal breaker.
So I have a few examples that came from this. Kath, what were you going to say?
I have a friend who has a whole list.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
She has a full list. Police officer and firefighter are on there because she would worry about them getting injured.
Okay.
An accountant is on there because they're probably boring. Doctors are on there because they probably work a lot.
Okay.
And then I forget what her cheating list is, but it's like, no, because they'd
Professional athletes.
because they'd probably cheat.
Okay.
Well, yeah, no, professional athletes. She just like laughs at. She's like, well, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, I forget what the cheating list
Does
is.
she adhere strictly to this? Have you seen her violate her own code?
No, she doesn't violate her own code. No, she doesn't. Like she's
Okay.
like, oh God, no, an accountant never. I would never.
Wow.
He could be the
Well, hang
hottest
on.
accountant on the earth, and she'd be like, oof, no.
How old is this person, and are they are they still single?
No, I think she's dating somebody now. Not like super serious, but
Okay.
she's dating someone now.
An accountant for the Sixers.
No, no, it's not. It's not.
I just, I've known people that have been very restrictive
And picky.
Picky. Like
Yeah.
the one, and in her defense, she was tall. She was, I think, 5'10", and she wouldn't date anybody under 6 foot.
Well, I can see some of those physical elements. The advice always, Case, for the many Preston C painfully single mixers that we've had over the years. If you're not having luck, think outside the box a little bit. Try something that you wouldn't normally go for. But it's okay to have some parameters that you kind of want to stay within the realm of.
I'm not super picky, but when you said this topic, Press, I was like, okay, maybe exotic dancer would be on my list. I remember there was a girl who danced at Club Risque years ago. This is before I started dating my wife, and she flat out told me she wanted to go out with me.
Yeah,
and she was really attractive. But I think for me, I was like, I'm not good enough. I think I'd be worried all the time.
Was it? So it was more,
I can see that.
It was more you felt inadequate, not inadequate.
No,
but,
inadequate is definitely the word.
okay.
Yeah.
But was there something about I think the thing would be, would you have an issue with the person you're involved with being pawed by
grinding on people all the time. Yeah,
like an accountant?
yeah.
Man, I had a friend who was the opposite case. He only dated strippers. And
Really?
and this was when he was in his 20s, and he found, I totally get what you're saying. He loved the detachment. For him, it was just like, this is fun and easy, and if they end up grinding on some dude tonight, like more power, they're making money. That's what their job is. And so I was like impressed at his ability to completely detach from
He's probably got a huge wiener then.
probably
Or
does.
can compartmentalize.
Or both.
Yeah.
By the way, also, if you want to jump in and comment, if you work in a profession where you feel that people don't date you because of that, I would like to hear about that as well.
That's a good thing.
Because I have one in mind. I'm sorry to interrupt, Kathy, but I would think that if you're like a mortuary worker,
Possibly,
that might be kind of weird to some people.
Oh God, I know a few, and they're very when they stand and they say the family would like to invite you back. That's like what he's having a conversation with him. He's like, oh, what'd you do today?
So that's how he is all the time.
He smells like formaldehyde.
He doesn't smell, but that is what it's like talking to him.
And then you go to his house and there's loads of bowls of filled with butterscotch candies, like you have at a funeral.
At a funeral. Nick, I had a friend who dated strippers, but was like, I won't marry one. Like, it will end and I'll find the right girl. And then he got her pregnant.
Hey, all right. I've heard, Kathy, though, I've heard that delineation. I'll date them, but I'll never marry them.
Yeah, until you get them pregnant.
That didn't apply for.
And did they get married?
I think for a minute. They're definitely not together now.
And now on the baby pole.
Oh, my God.
I think they did get married and then obviously divorced.
According to this article, here's a couple of things. And some of them are tamer than you would expect. Like this first one says 100% would not date a chef. They said, I've been a chef for 30 years and my people are the worst.
There's a lot of ego there.
There can be.
I mean, I shouldn't say that's an unfair statement.
Yeah.
There often is, and the dynamic between the people that work in the kitchen and in front of house, and there's a reason why there's a lot of angst in between chefs and sous chefs and servers, and it's a lot of the time is because of the ego on the chef.
I dated a chef in college, and the whole family was in the kitchen.
You would have starved to death if you weren't dating.
I might
You
not.
don't cook.
There was no egos with them
All
at
right.
least, and they weren't at fine dining restaurants. I mean, there were a few nicer places that they were at, but I mean, it was, kind of how they got through college. But then, the dad was into it. I just remember they all smelled the same.
Oh,
they would come
really?
home and have that, like, whatever type of restaurant they worked
the
at.
kitchen smell.
That's
yeah.
what they smelled like.
Okay.
I would wonder if you have chefs who are of a certain caliber, Kathy, if the issue is they're not preparing the food the way I like it, or there is, you talk about if that's how the ego stuff manifests.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right, we have a Zoomer. We're going to a wild-eyed looking guy named Levi, who's joining us. Hey, Levi.
This is awesome.
You look very excited. It's nice to have you
I
on.
didn't think I'd get this far.
You made it. You made it. All right, so did you want to tell us about your job or a job you would never date?
So I'm a farrier. I put shoes on horses.
Oh,
Yeah, I noticed your sweatshirt.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's got a horseshoe.
And, like a lot of people, especially like horsewomen, don't want to date us because it's kind of taboo to date your farrier. Like we're kind of like your hairdresser. We're like a blue collar hairdresser.
I didn't realize this.
Like the owners of the horses don't want to date you?
I didn't realize this dynamic
Yeah.
takes place. So it's kind of, what is it again? A woman doesn't want to date the person who.
Yeah, like the owner of the horse won't date him. He's working on her horse, right?
Is that it?
Yeah, or either that or they want to sleep with us to get free horseshoeing.
They will, because you're a good-looking guy. I mean,
Well, how expensive is horseshoeing?
I appreciate. I'll take that from you. Yeah. I've only been shooting for about 4 years. I'm an apprentice, but it's a thing that goes on.
I think you'd be around
Okay.
like some some quality women. Have you ever been hit on?
Constantly.
Constantly. But, all right, so I have a question also. Does the term stable boy, is that a negative, or would you qualify as a stable boy?
No, those are usually the guys that clean the stalls and are there helping. We're kind
Okay.
of in and out of the barn.
Because
Right.
sometimes in the story, in like the,
Lady Chatterley's lover?
yeah, exactly. Or the Princess Bride or whatever. She ends up with the stable boy.
Right,
you know?
yeah.
So-
Yeah.
I'm just a
No, we're
stable
not that
boy.
lucky.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, that's interesting. I'd say, and that is a profession I would not even consider.
Is the line, I'm just a stable boy, but I have a Shetland pony in my pants. There you go.
Hey, by the way, we have
I'm going to use that today. Thank you. That's going to happen at the next stop.
a horse lady that calls in and texts in from time to time, and she just texted me. Her name's Katie, and she says that farriers, and I'm sorry to report this, smell bad. That they smell like burnt hair. According to Katie, that's the case.
Oh, we
They
like
froze.
Yeah, we
Levi.
burn the shoes on the feet.
Oh, they burn the shoes onto the feet.
Right.
So, do you stink as a result?
Yeah. Yeah, so it's keratin, so it's the same material as your hair. So when you're burning it on, it smells like burnt hair.
Oh,
I see.
yeah.
And so
Wow.
excuse my ignorance here. So when you're attaching and you're putting the shoes on, they are now burned onto the feet or melted on?
So you burn them on to see how the shoe fits, and then you nail them on.
Yeah.
Okay. And correct me. This is not painful to the horse, or is there pain involved?
No. So it's like their feet are made out. It's the same thing as your fingernails.
Right.
It's keratin. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's called hot shoeing.
Yeah, hot shoeing is the correct term. Yeah.
Wow.
So what is hot wifing, Preston?
Yeah, we talked about that the other day. Levi, interesting guy. Thanks
Yeah.
for checking in, bud.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
I'm trying to figure out where you work. Does your shirt say Eat Creek Farm? What does it say?
Okay, so we have competitions for the farriers and blacksmiths, and it's called the World Championship Blacksmiths. There's a Facebook page for it, and we have 7 competitions all over the country, and then we have the World Championships of Canada, and so that people compete to do this, and so this is an event T-shirt from that.
Oh, gotcha.
Dude, I think that's pretty fascinating. I
Yeah.
think that's one of the old, besides prostitution, it's got to be one of the oldest professions.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, well, and we're like prostitutes because we're only making money if we're bent over.
There you go. Hi,
There we go.
Oh, man.
Levi, are you single?
No, sir.
All right.
He found the right horse.
Thanks, bud.
I did find my right horse chick. Ooh,
All right. We'll talk to you later.
He's like
All right.
real life Yellowstone.
Yeah.
All right. So some other people that commented said they would never date a social influencer. They said, I don't want to be the co-star in someone else's life, much like I don't want the same for another person in my life.
Or the photographer.
Yeah, you end up being the photographer.
I can see that, man, especially with the that is like a 24/7. If you have someone who's actually that is their career, that's too demanding.
Another person commented and said, any profession involving religion, influencers as well, and it says MLM.
Oh, main multi-level marketing.
Okay.
What's that called? Like the scheme where pyramid scheme.
Oh, pyramid scheme. Yeah.
I would
that's
never
illegal.
date Bernie Madoff.
And slaughterhouse workers, they said as well.
Yeah.
Off to the slaughterhouse.
All right, we got Dan who's joining us via Zoom. Let's go to him now. Hey, Dan. Good morning, bud.
Morning.
All right, so what profession would you never date, or do you work in a profession that people won't date you?
I would say my profession, jockey driver. I work in a private rail yard.
Jockey driver, you work at, what does a jockey driver do?
Moving 53-footers around off of the train.
Okay, so why don't people want to date jockey drivers?
I haven't got a clue right now. I haven't found anybody.
Oh, wait a second.
Millions of freaking mixers.
Oh man! So do you see a noticeable turn for the worse when you bring up your occupation? Is that it, or is there something else? Do you smell like burning horse hooves?
I don't work with horses.
There you go. So, but you've actually mentioned your occupation, and you believe that might be a turnoff because you seem like a nice guy.
Yeah, I seem like a nice guy, but I think it's a turnoff.
Oh man, that's hard work. That shows you, you're committed to what you do.
Yeah, I'm just getting off of work.
Wow, you work overnight too.
You have like long hours, because I was thinking like maybe like a long haul trucker might be a turnoff for some people because they just be on the road all the time.
Maybe.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, hang in there.
All right, Dan. Appreciate it, bud. All right, here's some other examples of something on your list, a profession on your list you would never date. This person says real estate agent. He said, I hate salespeople, and I feel like they're the ultimate salesperson, a real estate agent.
Oh, I was going to say, I feel like they're the least salesy.
Yeah.
Real estate agents?
Yeah. Like
I think insurance, I would think, would be, they always get the rap as the most. There's that scene in Take the Money and Run, Preston, where when they throw them in the cooler and he's in jail, in prison, they put him down in the hole with an insurance salesman.
No, I would think the ultimate salesperson is car salesman. That's what I think of.
And like having a conversation with them, like I feel like everything they talk, like anything you talk about with them, there's some sort of like sales angle or
there's
like
a policy for that.
It sounds salesy, but I don't feel like that with real estate agents.
Yeah.
All right. What kind of profession comes off as a know-it-all? Because I don't think I could be with somebody who knows it all. Do you know what I mean?
I think that's just the person.
Yeah. All right.
This one comment says a baker. They have an opposing sleep schedule to mine. So that's why that's why they would never date them.
You know what you get? Baked goods.
I know. I was going to say,
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd want that.
Kathy, listen to this one. Somebody says, I would never date a teacher. I've dated a few, and they're always sick. I'm not a germaphobe, but I absolutely hate being sick because they're around all the kids.
All the kids.
and
Little germ
Totally.
vectors.
Yes.
that they might be able to, drag some of that home.
Yeah.
We are going to go to another Zoomer. We have Jacqueline and her kitty cat who's joining us. Hi, Jacqueline. How you doing?
Hi, good. How are you?
Good. What's your cat's name?
His name is Ripley.
Ripley.
Ripley from Alien?
Yeah, actually, yeah. I thought it was a girl when I first got him, and so I was like, oh, I'll name him after a final girl. No, he's a boy. So,
I put two and two together because you have an American Psycho movie poster behind you.
Yes.
Oh, my God.
There you
My
go.
wall's filled with horror stuff.
That's
All
funny.
right. So is this your profession we're talking about, or are you going to talk about one you would never date?
It's my profession.
Okay.
I am a mental health therapist. I work with kids and teenagers. I'm on the dating app off and on for so long, and the first question always is, "Oh, are you gonna therapize me?" on
Therapize. I could see that,
Yeah.
Jacqueline, as a potential red flag, maybe to use a term, but because you might be concerned that you're constantly being analyzed or wanting someone, that the therapist you're dating might be trying to.
Yeah. Fix you.
Yeah, exactly. And
Is that it?
Would you?
No. Oh, okay. I'll be so honest. There's been a couple times I've gone out with guys and I'm like, ooh, like, what does that mean? Like, it's hard because, like, it's your job,
Yeah.
but it's not something you knowingly go into doing. Like, I'm not here to ask you about like your childhood trauma or like how you're doing. Like, I just want to go on a date and hang out. Like, I think a lot of people like overthink it, but like we do turn our therapist brains off. Like, it's not an all the time.
But you yourself, I've always heard that, when I've had, gone to therapy or whatever, they themselves go to therapists. It's not like, you figured it all out. And besides, you seem very cool. I'm looking at the wall behind you. I see Antonio Bay, which is from The Fog. So you're into horror movies.
Oh yeah, that's like my whole game.
All right.
Yeah,
you know what,
therapist.
Jacqueline, I don't know what to think about a therapist who is going to cite American Psycho.
I know, that's what I was thinking.
And The Fog.
Let me ask you about American
and Sleepy Hollow and all these other ones that are behind her here.
I think it's because I work with kids and teenagers. They think it's like very fun. I don't work with adults.
Okay. No,
and I barely ever do telehealth. And when I do, it's like a blurred background. Like no one ever sees it in my house.
Well, I approve. I would be very happy to tune into you as a therapist and see all that stuff. I'd say, I found my person.
I know. I think I'd like to date a therapist. I'd be like, I need help.
Yeah. Help me
for a second, and then turn it off when we're done.
To me, it's like dating a massage therapist who you always want to give you a massage.
Actually, it would be like, can you give me some coping mechanisms to deal with you?
Yeah,
possibly.
How do I deal with a maniac?
Yeah. and by the way, Jacqueline, are you seeing anyone now? Are you single?
No, I'm single.
Okay. All right. What was the longest relationship you've had? Tell us about you for a moment. We're going to work on you.
How does that make you feel when Preston it gets invasive with your life?
How does that land on you?
You're allowed to ask questions. Actually, personal side, I know Nick. He gave me a radio shout out a really long time ago when I was at Wawa.
You look so familiar to me. Was it the Wawa in Oaks?
Yeah, I used to make your son sandwiches.
That's so adorable.
And she can cook.
It's so great to see you again. That's fantastic. How long did you work at that Wawa?
Oh my God. Like through college, through grad school.
Yeah.
So when they would come in and ask for a sandwich, you would say, what do you mean by that?
I would definitely sometimes question people's mental health based off of what they were putting on their sandwiches.
Well,
Not in his son, but other people.
you seem very sweet. So do you date? Are you picky?
I think I definitely tend to be pickier, especially when I find out more about someone's family life.
Okay.
I don't know if I need that drama in my life. Or I try not to be picky. I think I've been doing the dating game thing like long enough to just like have expectations, but they're not like hard and fast.
Let me ask a question to you because of your background and what you do. And I think sometimes incorrectly think that it's wrong to have a type or no, like you said about family. You don't want to have to deal with that. I think if you set some general parameters up front, that can help you shear off what is going to be problematic. I don't think you should be so rigid that if someone's checking 9 out of the 10 things you want, that it crashes down because of one issue. But it's okay to have some standards or some things that you guide your dating life.
By the way, you now owe Steve $150.
But listen, you're absolutely right, Steve. It is okay to have standards. Look at her. She's beautiful.
Yeah.
She's well educated. She is well motivated.
She's into horror movies.
And
she has a cat.
And I talk to my daughters about this all the time. Know your worth. Right? And if you're not worth my time, then you're not worth my time.
And your time is $250 an hour.
I mean, honestly, you had me a Wawa.
Yeah. Doesn't take much for Nick. All right, Jacqueline, thank you so much, and best of luck to you. We appreciate you checking in.
That's funny, though.
She's so cute.
She's absolutely cute, and you have these predetermined notions about. Actually, oddly enough, Kathy, your friend's list does seem to have some viability to some of the different things. Listen, you wouldn't say if you met the perfect person and they work in a bakery and their hours are different, that you would accommodate if it's
if it's meant to be.
If it's meant to be.
By the way, influencer comes up quite a bit on this list.
Do you think that's a product of exactly what you were talking about, Kathy? If you're an influencer, you're all hours of the day, you're doing all these things, then you are, as you said, a lot of times, you're going to be the camera person.
And is it just annoying? Like you just
and I also think influencers might have a reputation for embellishing and you know what I mean,
being a little full of themselves.
And being superficial, and so it might come with that.
The more influencers I see on social media, the more I just, oh my God, just shut up already.
I was telling Preston that I started watching this series about, I got to get her name right. It's Devil in the Family, the Fall of Ruby Frankie. Who was she was the YouTuber who was creating the image of her perfect life with the 8 kids, and they,
and it wasn't,
and she was abusive. She got arrested for abuse. But Preston, her husband was her camera guy.
Okay.
Her husband had to be up for all of this, and eventually, they are at complete odds. They hate each other's guts.
There's also another one, Steve. I think I told you guys about it. I think it's called The Most Hated Person on Instagram.
Yes.
Watch that one. That's a good one.
Who's that?
It's this Australian gal who was lying about the fact that she had stage 4 cancer. And she survived by, drinking tea and doing all this. And meanwhile, people who actually have cancer were foregoing treatment and dying because they weren't getting what they needed. All right, anyway, a couple other things. And this one I find interesting. These are people as a Reddit thread, professions they would never date. And this one says pilot. Huh. My friend is a flight attendant, and the amount of married pilots that he has slept with is insane. I mean, they're bouncing all over the country, and they have to stop and stay in certain cities, and
that was
live another life.
That was the classic philandering occupation, right? Or traveling salesman.
Mm-hmm. Someone also said nurse. They work too much, strange hours, and I'd like to be able to actually see the person I'm dating.
Yeah, but I dig some scrubs.
Yeah?
Yeah, I don't know. You guys
find that attractive, people in scrubs?
Yeah, I do.
I don't
want no scrubs.
Scrubs don't do it for me.
No?
No, but there are some uniforms that do, like the flight attendants and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but it makes them stand out a little bit.
It does, yeah.
Kathy, you dig uniforms, right?
Yep.
You like baseball uniforms,
I
right?
like baseball uniforms. I like police uniforms.
Yeah.
Police, definitely.
So somebody stated on this one, soldiers and police officers, they have a reputation, they can have a reputation for being unstable and violent to their spouses. This one also says a psychologist. We were just talking to a therapist, different thing. A psychologist needs a psychologist. Nobody needs a psychologist more than a psychologist, they said. OnlyFans model is on here as well.
Oh, man.
So
undateable.
We just talked about this. So that's a case where you're always having to create content, and that also incorporates elements that might make an exotic dancer less attractive to someone as a dating possibility.
Yeah, it's sexual.
The same thing.
Here would be a tough one. Politician.
Oh, God, yeah.
The public scrutiny and recognition alone makes it an instant hard pass.
And like OnlyFans models, they get paid to screw people.
Yeah, this is true. No, that would be a tough one. I mean, that's you have to live a certain lifestyle.
Yeah, it's politicians. For me, it's politicians that always wanted to be politicians that is more of a turnoff than anything else, if that makes any sense to you. Like,
as opposed to someone who found out about a cause and decided to do something about it, and it led them to that.
Yes.
And then they get seduced and start taking the money. Yes.
Yeah.
It's the whole process.
All right, dentist and dental hygienists.
Yeah, that's always on the list. Why?
This one says, I don't trust anyone who enjoys mouth torture.
The BDSM part of it.
All right.
I dated a dental hygienist before I met Andrea, and we had a really nice time.
Let me ask you, Nick.
I enjoyed spending time with her.
While you were dating, was there a little extra brushing time before you were going over to make?
Abso-freaking-lutely.
Yeah,
I flossed more than I ever did before.
Because,
oh, my God.
I mean,
I was being judged constantly.
No Oreos before you go over?
Way. I wasn't chewing an onion right before going out. Kathy, you would have enjoyed would have enjoyed spending time with me during that period.
There was that one time I thought you were clean.
That week and a half or whatever.
I'm going to see this prostate dentist. His name's Dr. Bentz. He's gonna, he's a client of the radio station, and they took pictures of my mouth. Nick, oh my God, my mouth is so freaking gross. This far away, it doesn't look that bad, right?
It does.
And then a close up, it's like, oh my God. And
wow.
I'm just, and then
She does not like your mouth.
I'm consulting with the hygienist, and I'm looking at how perfect her teeth are. And then Benz comes in, and his teeth are great. And then I'm looking at everybody in the office, and all of their mouths are perfect. And then it's like sloth.
Case.
That's exactly what I was looking
You're
at.
talking to a kindred spirit. I had a tooth fall out sucking a straw.
Yeah.
Casey, It's like that. It's like that scene from Little Shop of Horrors where he shows the picture of the dog's
Yeah.
Oh my God!
Listen, I don't think anything ultra magnified looks all that awesome.
Is he a cosmetic dentist?
He's a prostodontist, whatever that is.
Oh.
He
does like
works on
dental-
street corners.
Oh no, that's a prostitute.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
No, it's like dental implants.
They
And,
do
you
all,
know, yeah.
and in fact, the state of the art of this stuff is amazing. So I hope he comes on. Is he going to help you with your tooth issue?
Yeah,
Oh, that's
because
awesome.
my tooth also fell out from eating bread. A roll, if you will.
Well, you look. We work with Kathy with the perfect teeth. You know,
Yes.
it's.
Look at that smile. Look at that smile.
You know what? I will
Talk about BDSM.
I'll grab the photos for you so you guys can see what
I'm sure.
talking
I'm
about.
sure they're
It,
glorious.
All right.
Oh, yeah, no.
I just have to own it. Like I'm so embarrassed by it that I just have to have it in the forefront because it was just.
You let me
it's
look in
so-
your mouth before.
When I started going to my dentist, and they asked for pictures. I sent a picture of my butthole because I thought
You were so embarrassed by
It
it.
looks better than my mouth.
All right, and then the last one on this list, and we're going to take a break. And Casey, allow me a dad joke here because it says, I would never date a tennis player. To them, love means nothing.
Look at that.
I got
Super
something,
cute.
buddy.
Interesting to think about. And, it's like Steve was saying earlier, you shouldn't fully limit yourself. That right person might be in that profession that you don't think would jibe well. You can take it out for a spin. You know?
I thank God my wife made concessions because I was not what she was looking for.
All right, we're going to take a break. When we get back, we will dive into bizarre file stories. So stay with us.
Preston and Steve.
There's also another movie scene from Parenthood.
Yeah.
Where Rick Moranis' wife.
Oh, yeah.
He's very controlling over what they eat, and because we need to stay in shape.
She
and all
can't
this.
stand
And
it.
whenever she would get pissed off, she'd go and she had this shoebox filled with Twinkies and things like that, and she would slip off and go eat them.
Well, there's a mindset too. Like I can, again, I'm not doing it so clandestinely, but I will be in the kitchen and I will move out of the doorway standing, because if you stand, you can turn around quickly. You can put it in the refrigerator. You can hear someone getting up. Yeah. So you got to stay mobile. You got to stay on your feet and ready to respond. Yeah. And so I'd say right in the kitchen.
Yeah.
On the counter, facing the wall that goes into the den. So it's my clandestine spot. I don't know if it's a secret spot.
So when you're the patriarch of a family and you come home and let's say you've stopped at a McDonald's or a Dunkin' Donuts or whatever, sometimes there is the expectation that, if you stop there, you probably should have gotten us something.
Us.
So us being our children or your spouse or whatever. So I will, a lot of times, finish my food before I even get into the house, and I will sit in the driveway, in the driver's seat of my car, and I will eat my meal, and all of the trash ends up in the trash can.
Yours are funny, Casey.
Well, because then they make you feel guilty, Kat.
Yeah, you
Like,
did-
you
I
didn't
got
get
you.
me anything. It's like,
Do
no, I
you
didn't. I did not.
Will you call an audible? I always do. I will pick my wife up something all the time, just because if you don't want it, great. But I kind of know what she wants.
I do that too.
And getting the "what about me" treatment is not worth the risk of not getting something.
See, for me, I'm not doing any of this secret eating because I think if it has to be secretive for me, I shouldn't be eating it.
No,
So
I'm
like
not,
if I have to hide that I got something and I can't share it, then I shouldn't have.
It's
it.
not that I'm hiding that I got something. It's that I'm hiding that I didn't get you something.
We also talked about this. Also, is germane to the notion of creative eating, to hide your eat. So I will never in an ice cream pint. I will never scoop out. I will shave off top layers so that optically from the top
stays flat.
Even and if it's split like parts chocolate, parts vanilla, I will reconstitute the line so you can't quite tell.
By the way, Casey, I know for sure there are people that do exactly what you do, that eat every last crumb, clean it up, finish, make sure there is no evidence left over that I stopped anywhere on the way home.
Oh, and it's even better if you can crumple your bag up into a tiny little ball. And the top trash bag in the trash can has a little bit of an opening that you can squeeze
Cram it in there. They'll never know.
They'll
Who's
never
going to go digging around in that trash?
If
to
you
find
can
this?
crunch it up big enough to put it in a cup,
Yeah.
Oh, even better.
Yeah.
And then crumple
I was
the
just
cup.
drinking. What, I can't drink?
Yeah. Let me go to some calls. I'll come back to this list, but it's secret snacking spots, and I have Brittany who wants to chime in. Hi, Brittany. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey,
Good
what's
morning,
up, Brittany?
So I had a secret snacking spot until about 3:30 this morning.
Oh,
I have a drawer underneath my bed.
okay.
That's meant for clothing. So, but I have some clothes in there, but I also have some snacks. Well, it was about 3:30. I heard some crinkling, and it turned out to be a mouse.
A mouse was in your snack stash.
I heard it.
No food upstairs.
Food in the bedroom.
So I got up at 3:30. I took all the snacks downstairs. I put them in a bag, put them in the fridge, and I threw out any trash. And I vowed to not do it again.
No. All right. Well, I could see that. I could see that being the end of that for you. But
That is. Yep, that's the
but
end.
maybe like putting it in an airtight container, or
You
like
have to be
something like
yes.
that.
No.
She's out. Brittany's out.
That's it's done.
By the way, the number one place on this list that people have their secret snacking spot is in bed. So that's where people like to do that.
So a lot of times, if you're up in bed, you don't want to at night. You don't want to take the walk down to the kitchen and get stuff. So I bought Claire a mini fridge for she's on another floor in the house. She never uses it, So it's one of those things you don't want to get out of bed. And I kind of subscribe to your notion, Kathy, too. It's good to have that distance to stop you from going and getting it.
Will she eat in bed?
No, really. She will eat before she goes.
'Cause I love-
Now, I'll find wrappers like if it's been a particularly candy night.
I love bed and I love food, but I don't like the two of them at the same time. And
Right.
I need separation. I don't like getting crumbs in bed, and then you roll over them.
There's
later
one
on.
thing I can eat in bed, which is the Hers pretzels.
Yeah?
Because the opening of the bag is big enough that you could eat over it.
You can eat over it?
Yeah,
All right.
but then also, like the secret for eating in bed with things that have crumbs is make sure that they're all bite sized, so you're not actually biting into something.
So that you're
that
creating-
it all
Yes.
goes into your mouth.
All goes
Right.
in
Do you
your
know
mouth.
it's a good height too, Preston? And I do it at home. I keep rotisserie chickens on my lathe.
You're laid.
Right.
Yeah, so
Smart.
yeah, right.
Rochelle and I will eat in bed sometimes if we're like watching a movie or something like that. I'll bring up like cheese and grapes and crackers and things like that.
look at you.
Yeah, I like to make it nice.
Yeah.
A charcuterie board made out of a pillow.
Maybe a little hummus. something
Brittany's
like that.
story is probably the exact reason that I don't want any
The
food.
mouse?
Yeah, just like mouse. I have a friend who used to eat in bed, and I guess crumbs got on the floor, and he literally woke up in the middle of the night to ants crawling all over him.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
All right. Let me go to Megan. Hey, Megan, good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, Megan. Do you have a little secret snacking spot?
Yeah, so years ago when I used to work at Wawa, we would have like so much spoilage that we threw away. So I would like sneak some of the food and run back to the dish room and eat it.
In the dish room. What's the dish room at Wawa, by the
In the
way?
dish room at Wawa,
What is the dish room? I'm not familiar.
So basically, back behind the deli, we have an area where we wash all the dishes that we use.
Okay. All right.
So yeah,
And so
I'd
you
run
would
back there
you would
and-
slip back there. Would you do it? Would you be kind of hiding? And did anybody ever catch you with your mouth full?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Offered.
If you work in a place though like that happens to have as you say, Casey,
Megan.
mouth, small, biteable like nuggets.
Yeah.
Duncan was great because the nuggets,
The donut holes.
you can pop those nuggets. Close your mouth. You can have 2 or 3 of them, and
The munchkins.
Don't you know though? Like
Yeah.
when you're done chewing, like
Yeah.
you think like, oh, they probably don't know. They know. They know you've eaten something.
Yeah, I just got a text from my friend Jen from college. She just said I literally rolled over onto a honeycomb this morning.
Let's go to Lisa. Hi, Lisa. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, Lisa. All right. So your secret snacking spot.
Okay, so I used to work in a diner, and sometimes the cook would give me a scallop or a shrimp, and of course it would be too hot to eat, and you'd be busy. So I would put it in a souffle cup with a lid, put it in my apron, and I would eat it in like 10 minutes when it was cool.
so to the outward appearance, you would just simply be drinking out of a cup, but you're actually eating shrimp.
actually eating shrimp or scallops. Yeah,
I have to imagine
Little-
that there's
little
nothing
hors
better
d'oeuvre.
than diner shrimp.
Yeah, diner scallops is probably better.
I gotta deter these things.
Thank you, Lisa. Appreciate it. I will when I go to the grocery store. I do this now, and I always felt kind of guilty about it. But grapes are a crapshoot, man. Sometimes you get them and you take them home, and you eat it, and you're like, oh,
What the hell?
this batch sucks.
Why am I alive?
Well, they're sour.
Yes,
you know, and
I hate that.
I do too. So I will put the grapes in my cart.
Give it a little taste.
I will be walking through shopping, and when I'm alone, I'll snag one of those bad boys and take a quick
Just
bite.
one?
Just one.
Okay.
Listen,
What, like a fistful of grapes?
No, I just wasn't sure.
that
if
was
you
a great
snacked
movie,
on
by the
them.
way. Fistful of Grapes for Clint Eastwood.
And I feel kind of bad because grapes are sold by weight.
I wasn't sure if they were sold
They
by
are.
the bag.
They're
Okay.
sold by weight. So if I sit there and ate a bunch, I'm stealing
Is
at that
it
point.
inappropriate? I don't think it is. If you're in the produce section and you take one grape to sample, I've seen people do that.
I'm sure people do it all the
I don't think
time.
that's frowned upon. Is it?
I don't know.
Is it?
I'm not going to find out.
If you're in the meat section, can you cook a piece of meat over a lighter
I don't
just
wanna
to see how good it is?
I don't want to get banned from my grocery store, so I hide it while I'm
I
doing it.
don't. Yeah, I can't imagine. You think somebody would say something to you if they saw you eating a
probably not.
grape?
Especially your big celebrity.
Sir, don't eat the produce. Let me go
Oh,
to
Mr. Elliott, I didn't recognize you.
Let me go to Colton. Hey, Colton. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, my man. All right, so secret snacking spot.
Well, I mean, I think every guy has it at least. I mean, I'm a car guy. I'm a garage guy. I mean, everybody's got the garage. Everybody's got the beer fridge. I mean, hey, I got to go do this. Like last night's garbage night.
Yeah.
You go out, you're doing garbage. You have a beer while you're out doing garbage because you know you're not going to get interrupted while you're in the garage.
Yes.
So it's just a nice place to have, that one beer that you got to have at night or whatever, and you're not interrupted while you're doing it.
Yeah, so you do it. You pick your area. You come up with your cover story. I'm going to go polish this turkey in the garage.
Colton, are you slamming that beer while you're out there?
No, I mean, that's why you have to make up a good enough backstory that, hey, I'm going to be out there for like 15, 20 minutes or so. Like, it can't just be like, hey, I'm going to go grab a 9mm wrench and come back.
Well, you said take out the garbage. Taking out the garbage takes about 30 seconds for me, so.
Well, no, because I have a garage can that I have to do. I have recycles that I got to. So there's.
I'm going to straighten up a little while I'm out there. Yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah,
I gotcha.
I'm going to rotate the half and half.
All right, that's a good one. The garage, definitely. All right, thank you, Colton. Appreciate it. Let me go through a few others. We got tons of calls here. So, other ones are, like I said, in a closet, a public toilet.
No.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, that's
God.
like a brothel or an alleyway with junkies.
In a child's playhouse.
Just any random child?
I don't know. A public changing room.
Oh, what the hell?
In a swimming pool. I mean, I don't mind that if I'm at a pool party or something like that.
But to me, that'd be very obvious if you're going into the pool with a turkey leg.
Yeah, exactly. Up in the attic.
Okay.
In the laundry room. In a hot tub. Some of these aren't secret snacking spots.
No.
Like you said, Steve. That's
you want to be out of the line of sight.
All right. How about this? During exercise.
What?
No.
Occasionally, I'll put cheese wheels on my bar instead of plates.
I can't eat during exercise. Like,
No, me either.
breathing too
Oh,
much.
it's very easy.
I don't like to eat right before exercise.
No, me neither.
When you guys are curling, you don't eat French soup?
No, well, maybe I should try because I do like that.
In a storage room at work. All right, I can see that. Yeah.
So that was again that ended up being on a number of occasions where I'd go to the storage room. There's nobody back there.
You ever take a nap in a storage room?
No.
Yeah,
I don't know.
me neither.
In an elevator. Okay. I don't.
Just go up and down.
Get a high rise.
Just eating a salad in the elevator.
It's like a magic trick. Well, I'm going to make this meal disappear.
On the toilet is another one.
No.
A public stairwell. Why would you? Okay, I don't know.
I guess just to hide.
Yeah, if you're hiding in like the basement, then like a stairwell, I could see.
Okay.
People used to smoke in the stairwells here. You know, you'd walk
Did
in.
they?
Yeah. You could walk in there and smell the cigarette smoke.
If you go with someone else, you can have them get at the top of the stairs and roll M&Ms down into your mouth.
That's true.
All right, then you have the shed. It says I can see that.
A shed is a good one.
Yep, that's a really good secret spot.
Septic tank.
In the bathtub. which is
I'm not a fan of that.
like if Rochelle takes baths quite a bit, and I will bring her up a little, little something nice, spaghetti, some spaghetti, yeah, some buffalo wings.
Here, I brought you some hobo stew. It's your favorite, isn't it?
On the stairs, just at your house, sitting on the stairs, I can see that.
Yeah.
That's my favorite spot for soup.
And then number 2 on this list, this is Casey. It says while driving. I think just in the car.
Yeah.
In general I think that's got to be one of the big sneaking food spots.
You have a delineation though. Parked and driving.
Right.
What is your driving food? Your number one driving food?
Oh,
I think
you know what that has become for me is a like a burrito supreme.
It stays contained.
It stays contained.
Yep.
Not messy. One hand. Easy
Absolutely.
to eat.
Traffic on 93.3 WMMR.
All right, thank you, Kathy. Before the B file, real quick, butt plug and a couple of sharts here. This one is near and dear to my heart because my youngest, Caleb, is such a wonderful person. There was a family in the Harleysville area, and Caleb doesn't know them, but their house burned down earlier this year. Family of 6. So my kid has put together a fundraiser for them, which is going to take place this weekend. So Caleb works at Inline 309. Great skating rink. Really, really cool spot. It's where I do my skating. And a portion of the proceeds this Saturday will go to the Gilbert family. And it starts at 10 a.m. Admission's $15, and just come by and skate. That's what we're going to do. I'm going to be there. I'm not there as like an appearance or anything. I'm there.
I thought you were putting on a clinic.
I am there to go skating because I love roller skating. Now, I haven't done it since I torn my MCL.
Oh, no.
And I am going on a golf trip.
Then don't do it. Don't do it.
But I
Don't.
I love to skate.
Don't.
I love it.
Tell you what, do it.
Skating will be there when you get back from your golf trip.
This is true.
Here's what you can do. Why don't you go there with the guitar from the studio and show them?
Like I said, I have another email concerning that, which I'll get to in a little while. But so that's going to be this Saturday at Inline 309. The section starts at 10 a.m. It's just a regular skating section, but if you go, a portion of the proceeds are going to go to the Gilbert family of Harleysville. So I wanted to pass that along. And also thank you to Frank. He's the owner. He was actually down at Coco's. When we were broadcasting live in Clearwater.
I didn't know that.
Yep. So thank you, Frank, for allowing my youngest to do this. I appreciate that. All right. Here's a shout out. It says, good morning, President's hoping to get a shout out from my husband, Kevin, for his birthday on April 3rd. He truly is the best of the best. We listen to your crew every morning, and I just want to make his birthday extra special this year. Thanks so much. Longtime listener. That is from Michelle Abersold. So shart for your hubby. And then this is a really nice one. This is from listener Joy Williams. She says, hey, Preston and Steve crew, I am reaching out to see if you could give a shout out to my husband. He's retiring after 20 years in the military.
Oh, man.
Been a dedicated listener of your show since he was stationed in Philly almost 16 years ago. Even during deployments, he downloaded every episode and listened while underway, catching up on show breaks.
So awesome.
She said, you've become like good buddies to him. He's always relating everyday life to things that you've said, like, oh, Kathy would give up coffee over margaritas, or Preston only eats a spoonful of ice cream at night, or Steve really liked this movie, or Nick went to this national park. We should go too. And sometimes he plays back episodes for me so that I can hear the crew's reviews, and he always gives me the backstory on all the inside jokes.
I hope if we haven't, I'd love to meet the guy.
She says, at first, it was strange that he talked about radio hosts that he's never met, but now I get it. You've even got me saying, sorry to bother you at work. Gadzooks are randomly yelling, privilege. If you're willing and able, I know a letter or signed picture would mean so much to him. Thank you for being such a big part of his life and making him laugh all these years. And that is from Black Listener Joy. And his retirement is coming up in May. His name is Jared Williams of the United States Coast Guard Senior Chief Petty Officer.
Nice.
So here's a shout out. Jared, congratulations on a great career and what sounds like a lovely wife as well.
Absolutely.
So congratulations, bud. All right, and I think that's it. Well, and you want me to mention this case?
Yeah, on a few occasions, if we can, for the rest of the week, because it's a really good deal.
Friggin' deal this week with MMR. You can get 2 single-day wristbands for the price of one for the Funplex in Mount Laurel, New Jersey.
We love this place.
Yep, we have been there. We did a Granny Grand Prix there one time. Wristbands offer unlimited access to indoor and outdoor rides, 1 hour of bowling, and select video games as well. So that's a pretty sweet deal. You can get that for half off right now, 2 for the price of 1. The exclusive deal while supplies last is available at WMMR.com/deals, so go get it.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
Brought to you by Sequoia Outback. Stop in for their annual Spring into Sequoia sale going on now, Route 309 in Hatfield or at DexSupplies.com. And you can experience the ultimate in outdoor living at Sequoia Outback. Asheville, North Carolina police arrested and charged a man in connection to an armed robbery with a machete that took place at a grocery store. Officers responded to investigate the robbery, and upon arrival, a store employee told officers that a man had stolen a cinnamon bun and some incense.
Cinnamon buns are so good.
When confronted, the man displayed a machete before running away.
That's what I bring when I shop for cinnamon buns.
Officers quickly located the suspect who matched the description and was eating a cinnamon bun.
Cinnamon buns, anything like that, I think could put me over the edge.
Could drive you to carrying a big knife and demanding
a machete.
it. The suspect was identified as Jeffrey Bradburn, and he was taken into custody.
I like cinnamon.
Animal rights activists in Ireland are asking for a crackdown on those people who own exotic animals as pets. And the outcry comes as photos have circulated of a foal zebra being walked around the town of County Clare and eventually enjoying a day at a local pub with its owner after the horse fair that was in town.
James, can I get a pint from a zebra?
Currently in Ireland, there's no legislation protecting wild animals like zebras and no licensing requirements.
That's
and that means
weird.
that technically you could own a zebra, a tiger, even a king cobra, as long as you have the appropriate license to import it to
6 gerbils, 2 cats, a hamster, and a rabbit.
The country.
I think I want to own a king cobra. I just saw the David Blaine special.
When you do, please insert some sort of camera that we can all access.
Yeah.
Because I want to have something to play at your funeral.
Yeah, I want to see the last moments.
Yeah.
All right.
But David Blaine kissed it on its head.
Oh,
Yeah.
so it should be fine.
So you want to try that?
Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
they always report about the guys who can sort of seduce the, oh, wow. They never report the stories about the guys who are, murdered by their friggin' cobras.
On your tombstone. But David Blaine kissed it on its head.
Yeah.
2 Illinois men identified as M. Brunner and J. Fry have filed a class action lawsuit against OnlyFans parent companies, Phoenix Internet LLC and Phoenix International Limited. And they allege that the platform misled users by allowing third-party management agencies to impersonate content creators in subscriber communications, which means the person a user is chatting with isn't the one they see in the pictures and videos.
Kathy, do you hire a third party
I do, actually.
to correspond with your foot
It's not
fans?
me. It's just my feed, but it's
Jackie
not me.
Bam Bam. Maybe sometime we can go out for salad balls. Or a green muchacho.
The shattered illusion of getting to talk to a pretty girl has led the plaintiffs to claim the practice violates OnlyFans' terms of service and deceives users seeking authentic interactions. The OnlyFans fan creator contract acknowledges that third parties may assist creators with their accounts, but the lawsuit argues that this disclosure is insufficient and not prominently featured.
That's where you should always read all that stuff. Warning to horny incels.
All right, so a 56-year-old Polish cleaning woman was arrested for systematically poisoning her 51-year-old colleague's beverages over several months.
Man.
We just had another story like this. It's
Yeah.
almost identical to this, actually. The victim experienced severe stomach pains and, upon medical consultation, was informed of internal injuries consistent with toxic substance ingestion. And recalling unusual tastes in her workplace drinks, she installed a hidden camera and captured footage of her coworker adding cleaning agents to her tea and soda. The perpetrator, along with a 68-year-old accomplice, aware of the poisoner's actions, were taken into custody, and authorities believe personal animosity motivated the crime, which is a way of saying that the cleaning woman just didn't like that person.
She even told her it would be safe to kiss a king cobra.
The main Suspect faces up to 20 years in prison, while the accomplice could receive a 30-year sentence for failing to report the crime. Donna Elkins was arrested last week in Florida for allegedly holding two teenage boys at gunpoint while they were fishing near her backyard. The boys, who were 13 and 15,
what are you boys doing?
Were on a peninsula approximately 30 feet from Elkins' property line when she approached them with a long black pellet gun and ordered them to the ground while threatening to, quote, blow their heads off.
Okay.
For fishing.
Yeah, and not on her property.
And not on her property.
The teen remained on the ground for about 5 minutes until the 59-year-old Elkins' husband intervened and disarmed her.
She's on the right.
Oh, my God.
Tell her that. Yeah. Authorities determined that the area where the boys were fishing is owned by a community development district, and Elkins was charged with 2 counts each of aggravated assault and false imprisonment. She was booked into the Brevard County Jail and later released on $25,000 bond.
Pellet gun not likely to blow someone's head off, but
still, you can't go threatening people like that. And that is what I have in the bizarre file for you for now. We are, our friends from Red Robin are here.
Yes.
And that means we got to take care of you, my friend. We have a $50 gift card for Red Robin, and we'll have you text the word RED to 610-660-9333, and we'll grab a winner from there. And they are offering a new catering menu, which feature bundles where you can get everything you need to feed a crew of 20 people.
Oh, wow.
For one great price.
I love Red Robin.
Through Red Robin. So you can check out all the information at redrobinpa.com. But they brought in tons of burgers. They brought in the deluxe burger bundle.
Burger bundle?
20-person burger bar customized with your choice of proteins, cheese, along with 12 toppings and sauces, gourmet wing and sauce bar. House salad, Yukon chips, and 20 fudge-filled chocolate chip cookies.
Wow.
I mean, you speak my language, man.
How about all that?
I need you to stop talking so I can go eat, please.
And
I need you to stop.
They have the all-new loaded tater tot bar, too. Wow.
Is there a word more beautiful? Tater tot.
I love it.
Is it a hyphenate or is it just 2 separate words?
I think
2 words.
It's 2 words.
Okay.
All right, so text the word RED right now to 610-660-9333. You just might win. We're going to take a quick break. We'll come back in a moment. We will have our friend Adam here with the World Oddities Expo. Stay with us.
Preston.
Burgers are pretty simple, too, as long as they're not... like you're not getting like a loaded burger with tons of stuff on it.
Right.
Yeah. Fries are good.
Like a McDonald's cheeseburger. Pretty damn simple.
Shish kebab.
Very easy to eat while you're on the road.
Yeah, all of that. Contained. Ready to go. French fries. Easy.
Yep.
Get all that stuff.
Let me see here.
Baked Alaska.
I'm going to go to some more calls here. Let's go to Mike. Hey, Mike, good morning.
Good morning, Ed. How are you?
Good morning, Ed, buddy. We're good. So, secret snacking spot for you?
I am currently 54 years old. It took me 45 years to figure out that the kitchen sink will disguise sounds of wrappers being opened.
Oh, okay.
Handy stuff like that. If you stand there and run the water, it will disguise many of those sounds, and nobody else.
I think you're talking my realm, because you go in the kitchen, you position yourself in a way you can cover the sounds. You can make, like, again, for me, it's a combination of that. Hiding the sounds, and then also how you cut that piece of cake so it doesn't look like any cake.
Absolutely.
How you scoop the ice cream, all of that. How you rebuild the pile of French fries.
Right.
All of that stuff is critical.
Well done, Mike. Thank you. By the way, which leads me to the why are you hiding what you're eating? And on rare occasions, it will be I'm eating. So now, this is just at home. I wouldn't do this at work, but eating someone else's food, someone else's leftovers, and look at it and go, I think begging for forgiveness would be worth eating this. I didn't know it was yours. I didn't mean to. I'll get you some more. I have done that. What?
I don't do that.
You don't do that?
No, I don't.
Okay. You have respect for other peop's leftovers?
Other people don't.
In your house,
they'll eat yours.
All the time.
They ate my ice cream.
Yeah.
That's why I had to eat my mom's candy last night.
Let me ask you something. If you set up your dinner, everything's set there, you're ready to go, and you go to the bathroom and you come back and it's gone.
Yeah.
Can someone use, well, you weren't here?
I mean, it's on a plate on the table.
Yep.
No, people wouldn't do that.
All right.
I mean, the dogs would do it.
The biggest fight ever between my sister and I happened when I ate the last pizza, the last frozen pizza. I mean, physical fight. Throwing things, punching each other, the whole thing.
What kind of pizza?
I don't know, just some random frozen pizza, whatever.
When you want it.
Yeah.
When you've been thinking about it.
Yep.
That's like I told these guys earlier, I'm thinking about dinner today. And I'm like, what I want. I know what I want. And I'm going to have it. And if anybody gets in my way, I'll kill them.
I remember swinging a hockey stick at her earlier. I kid you not. Because she was punching me. She was hitting me. She was older than me.
You deserved it.
It
was pizza.
Yeah,
it was
but
the last one.
You know what?
I stand with you.
It wasn't dibs on her, or she didn't call dibs on it.
She didn't dib it.
And it wasn't hers. It was. It belonged
My
to
parents
the
bought it.
household.
So,
Yeah.
all right. Anyway,
They should have been hitting you with hockey sticks.
secret snacking spots. Very interesting look at that. So thank you for your calls. We do appreciate it. We got to take a break. It's 7:51. We need to get to the bizarre file. We're going to have a fantastic actor, Mr. Chris Cooper, is going to be joining us along with his wife. She's an actress as well, Marianne Leone, and they're talking about a project that they have available now called Within. Todd Fedorik's going to be on the program too, former Flyer great, and more. Stay with us. We'll return in just a little bit. Light, we got some free ink for you to win Tattoos Day. So if you're interested in a $350 gift certificate for Floating World Tattoo and Piercing, just text the word tattoo to 39333, and we'll get a winner by the end of the program.
Did you get the email of one of our tattoo winners who did a Gene Simmons chicken?
No. Is that real?
Yeah.
No, I need to see that.
I'll dig that up. I thought you guys all got it.
No, I've got to see that. That's brilliant. That's as show-centric as you can possibly get. And it pays tribute to two great things, Gene Simmons and chicken.
Exactly.
Oh, my God.
It doesn't get better than that.
All right. This next segment might not work. Who knows? We're going to see if it does or not. We have talked about this in the past, about bringing in some items to show and tell about.
Preston?
Yes.
They said the same thing about the X1.
And look what happened.
Yeah.
It broke the sound barrier.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, for the first time ever, the Preston and Steve Show is bringing you Show and Tell. Thought I'd throw in a little bit of Rush this morning.
Hey, the teacher, Preston, we'd like to see you.
Oh, my God, yes.
And your show and tell what you have for us today.
I remember sitting there with a big brown paper grocery bag.
Oh, yeah.
With whatever it was that I brought in, and we would all sit on the floor. And like Steve, the teacher would call you up, and it was your turn. And it was so exciting because you would have seen a couple of people go by then.
Yeah.
And you know that yours is way better than theirs.
And you'd have and you could bring in things like a new cool toy that you had. Like,
Yes.
look at this, what this does.
Yeah, totally.
I could be the a-hole kid who criticizes what the other kids brought.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
Because I didn't bring anything.
Totally.
And then, but everyone starts to pass out because you brought some stuff that you baked into the.
I poisoned them.
So I had I only remember one show and tell ever that I participated in, and it's because on my way home from school one time I found a gardener snake, and so I captured it and I put it in a Folgers can, and then I brought it into school the next day for my show and tell, and then the gardener snake somehow magically got away, and my mom let him go. She did not care for having a snake in our house.
By the way, check on that. Is it gardener snake or garter snake?
Garter.
I was pretty sure it's garter.
Garter snake, like in a wedding when you put the snake on the girl's thigh.
Yeah, and then it crawls around. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure.
That's cool.
And so people would be
What was that?
texting and saying-
Did I said it the wrong way?
No,
Garter snake.
The snake that you are talking about has a gray mustache.
Yeah, you said a gardener snake.
A Jim Gardner
Okay,
snake.
so what I brought, speaking of show and tell back in the day and when the kids would be there, is what I've mentioned before. I brought this to my third grade show and tell and recently found it.
Wow.
And hopefully...
This is a good one already.
I haven't brought this in for you before, and it just just shows exactly what a different time it was, because, ladies and gentlemen, I brought to my third grade show and tell a World War II bayonet.
Oh my God.
A bayonet.
You actually brought that into school?
I did.
A weapon.
A weapon.
A weapon.
This is a knife. It's probably a good 10 inches long.
Good Lord.
And this was a bayonet that I bought in an Army surplus store.
Yeah.
If you brought that today, the school would be surrounded and the SWAT team would be
I'd be
entering.
expelled.
yeah.
I'd probably be expelled.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
But I told you there was another. So this is. I don't have any history on this knife, other than it was clearly sharpened quite a bit because it's got a section in the middle that's curved.
Yes.
Unless it was made that way, I don't really know. But it certainly seems well used. And this was definitely for a rifle because you can see where it would slide onto the barrel right here. And there's a button that you would push that would lock it. You could unlock it. And it's got a wooden handle with these kind of cross stitches in it. And there is a mark on it, but I've never researched it.
Do we know which army it was used for?
I don't know anything about this other than I saw a big freaking knife and I wanted to buy it.
So my dad...
And this is when you could, as a kid, you could walk into a store and buy a big-ass knife like this. I was in like third grade and I bought it.
We had a German, I believe it was actually a Hitler Youth knife that somebody given my dad while he was actively fighting the war, and brought it back.
Oh, wow.
Yes, Preston, that stuff was around the house. And as I said earlier, I brought a Civil War sword into show and tell. But remember, we had a bayonet as well. I was fascinated with the concept of the bayonet. So it'd be cool to kind of find out the history of that.
Yeah, it does have a mark on it. And I guess I could, it looks like a letter N or an M. I can't quite tell, with a crown over it.
That means Nermany. So it was an enemy weapon.
Do you remember the year you bought it?
Let's see. Third grade. It would have been 1978, somewhere around
How
then.
cool were stores like that to go to surplus? And Preston,
77.
They would sell dummy grenades.
Oh my God!
Yep.
They would sell.
Well, I told you another item I brought for show and tell, and I've told this before. It was a Vietnam War era incendiary bomb.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was literally a bomb casing.
Yeah.
It was about 2.5 feet long. It was orange. Had a fin on it. Had the front. Had an arming pin and everything on it. And I had looked it up. It was incendiary, so it was for creating fires, is what it would do. It wouldn't explode, but it would just spread fire all over the place. And it would be for torching villages, I don't know, whatever, burning babies, what they do. I don't know. But
bad babies, like German babies.
German babies.
Well, yeah.
The worst.
The Viet Cong, who were fighting at the time.
Yeah.
But I brought that in. You could bring that in without any concern. And listen, I think it's insane that we were able to do that stuff back then.
Yes.
And there's reasons why you can't do it now. But I found that stuff fascinating. Me and my friend Bubba at the time was his name.
Yeah.
We were way into Steve, like playing war.
Oh my God, that's
all
what
the
we did
time.
all the time, and with the full size GI Joes, and when you could get your hands on equipment like this, Preston. When I brought the full Civil War sword into, it was a cavalry sword too. I think it was a cavalry officer brought that into school. I was proud because I had a story attached to it. We just used that sword. My pool above ground pool was frozen, and I ran the sword about 50 times into the frozen pool liner.
Oh man,
my dad loved that.
So it was a Civil War era sword.
Yeah.
What did you guys ever do? Those things are worth a ridiculous amount of money.
I guarantee you, it walked. My dad, when my mother passed away and we moved. My dad held the most crazy garage sale.
Wow.
Like things I had just bought ended up in the garage sale. I'm like,
He just sold
where is?
everything.
I sold it. It's like, Dad, this is where you can't run a garage sale.
Yeah. So I don't have much to tell other than that I took it to show and tell as a kid, and that's just insane.
It's a beauty.
This thing was allowed in. there.
So would you want to find the history on it? Like, would you want to figure out?
I've had it for a long, long time.
You know, it's not something you probably take to Antiques Roadshow. There's probably not a lot of inherent value to it, but I bet there's a story behind it. And like, so you could talk to a military expert or some weapons expert, and I bet they could track down like the rifle that it was used for, the era that it was used, that kind of thing.
Probably. It's pretty beat up, but yeah.
Still. I mean, I can't believe that they sold it to you. You didn't have a parent with you? I can't remember if you said that.
I don't remember.
No, you could walk in, honestly, Case. There's a surplus store in Northport, Long Island.
Yeah.
You could walk in. I remember. And walk out.
I'd buy cigarettes for my mom.
I know.
You know, I mean,
but if I came home with a knife like that, you know, A, if they sold it to me, and then B, if I came home with it, my parents would be like, no.
Casey, I had a machete as well.
I couldn't even have nunchucks. I wasn't even allowed to have nunchucks.
We lived in a place, this is when I lived in South Carolina when I had this, and there were woods all over the place around us, so I needed a machete.
Yeah.
I had to get around in the woods, you know, so it was crazy. I had a motorcycle, I had a shotgun, it was ridiculous.
I remember buying flying stars from all sorts of crazy weapons.
Yeah.
Yes.
So somebody messaged on the YouTube stream that you should never clean that blade. It's worth more with the patina on it.
Oh,
and I've never heard that before.
Maybe just
that's the new thing in collecting. And I was telling Preston about this. And with automobiles, Nick, you don't restore them.
No kidding.
You let them if you can find them and let them be their original. With a little bit of rust, a dent, all that makes it worth more these days.
Casey, do you see that? There's like small bits of dirt and mud on there. That was from me as a kid, jamming it into the ground or whatever.
It's Hitler's blood on the edge.
Maybe that's what that is.
That's what it is.
All right, so that's what I have for show and tell. Thank you, Kathy. Do you approve?
I mean, I'm not into weapons.
Okay, all right.
But it's okay. It's good enough.
All right, let's get another show and tell.
Hey, wait a second. Can I send Kathy down to the cafeteria to get the pints of milk for snack?
WMMR.
And before we welcome our next guest, I just want to reiterate we made an announcement earlier, and it's a return of the Preston and Steve Show side stage live band karaoke.
Yeah.
At the MM Barbecue coming up on May 10th, and we are now looking for people to audition for a slot and end up on stage performing before that crowd. You can click contest at WMMR.com, and you can submit a YouTube link of you singing. All the information is there on how you do it. It's pretty simple. But the deadline for this will be on April 21st. And just a reminder, if you are not interested, you're not a singer or whatever, you may know somebody that is. And I would like you to point them in that direction. And they will not only come up on stage and sing before the crowd, which is always fired up and ready to hear anybody and everybody do what they do. But also you get a 4-pack of MM Barbecue tickets on top of that. We're going to choose 10 singers all together. We're going to have 2 different sets. And we'd love you to participate. So WMMR.com. If it's not you, share that with someone, and maybe they'll take you to the concert, too.
And I love you stressing the fact that the audience is really receptive to it. Everyone appreciates what you're doing. And you're playing, by the way, you're backed by an awesome band.
Yeah, Sidearm. They're excellent. All right, so we would like to welcome some guests to the show. The World Oddities Expo is coming to town Saturday and Sunday at the Pennsylvania Convention Center, and we're happy to have back in our studio once again Mr. Adam Hutter. Yeah. Nice to see you, Adam. How you doing, buddy?
I've been great. How you been?
Been wonderful. And you brought with you Bizarre Bryn, who is here too. And Bryn is part of the whole thing, right?
Yeah, this is my performance coordinator and right hand, and manages the stage as well as a brilliant performer.
Adam actually introduced me to Bizarre Bryn.
Yeah.
Bryn, you played the Mutiny.
I did.
And it was friggin' wild.
It was great.
It was awesome, and everyone loved it. And you're like bending all over the place and doing all sorts of other stuff. It was terrific. So you guys work together, and you bring as well as the oddities that we're familiar with, that you bring in, Adam, entertainers as well who are human oddities in their own right.
I coordinate all the living oddities, if you will.
By the way, is this the biggest event of this kind, expo of this kind in the country? I mean, every time I talk to you, you're all over the place.
Depends on who you ask. We're in 27 cities nationwide right now.
Yeah.
And Philly is definitely our biggest spot. But yeah, we've been growing a number of cities each year. We did 16 last year.
Wow.
This year's 27.
And it's a big undertaking. I mean, you got a lot of stuff moving in and out, right?
Oh, yeah. It's just a giant
Freak
cluster.
Cluster app, No, it's awesome.
The moving parts are a lot stranger, too.
Yeah.
I find it's one of those things, like, if your request is weird, people are more amenable to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if I was like, hey, can I park, a Toyota Tercel on the floor? They're like, no, a quarter tank of gas, turn the keys off, disconnect the battery. And I'm like, hey, can I fit 8 hearses? And they're like, yeah. Just put less gas in them. It's fine.
And that all works because they probably have no protocol in place, and they don't want to seem ill-prepared.
That's exactly it.
Adam, is there indeed a hearse display at the Oddities Expo?
Not this one. In Raleigh.
Okay.
This one, we didn't have the space.
Okay.
Yeah. There's just no space for hearses.
You've got too many artists.
Yeah, and we haven't had that many fatalities.
Yeah.
That's good. No temporary morgue at the expo. Explain to people who are unaware. We've had you out a number of times, and when people, they love it. Explain what one can find at this event.
All right, quick history lesson. This is the way I like to do this, and it's not going to take 10 seconds, but I'll try to do it in 20. Once upon a time, there was a royal treasury. There was a big house on the land, and everybody worked around that house. And within that, there was a room where they would lock away masterful art pieces or strange creatures that they had found that were taxidermied, jewelry, things of value. And mostly this guy would show that to his friends at parties. This is 1599. In the next century, they started to turn that into a traveling exhibition, and then sometimes static shops. So there'd be a little oddity shop somewhere that had all of these strange and rare things to see and learn about. And now here we are in 2025, and we've sort of compacted all of them from all over the country into this mega convention that just sort of slithers from city to city. With all of these new performers and classes and sort of a DIY experience.
It's cool, though. I sense, and I don't know, you can either support or refute this, that the appetite for this kind of thing, I think, is getting exponentially more and more.
Always. There's only two people that come to the show. There are people that are strange and feel at home, like Jackie Bam Bam. And then there are people that come to see it, to be amazed and gawk.
Yeah.
And because of the protection of the size of it, it's not like the old days where they tried to drive you out of town. You can't drive us out of town. We'll eat you.
Right, yeah.
So we're here.
Good.
Whether you want to be a part of it or whether you already are, it's kind of like home. It's a lighthouse for independence.
Love it.
Is there anything that makes you shudder?
An accounting
I plead the fifth. But it usually has to do with political ideologies or religions.
Okay. All right.
All right. What's I would imagine besides the oddities and things like that, are there clothing and stuff like that that's on sale?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. There's a lot of amazing artists, and they do everything from, a keychain to custom lines of apparel. So there's always all kinds of clothes. There's kinds of prints. I mean, art is a big part of what you would find.
One of the elements is if you're looking for something unique, if you like to be the person who shows up and people go, where the hell did you get that? This is your event.
Well, we all agree Black Friday is not fun anymore.
Right.
I used to go out to that thing like we were going to a Lamb of God concert with like elbow pads on. It's like, I'm going to get that sale. And shopping now is just, I don't know.
It's very cookie cut, very homogenized.
Very homogenized, poorly made goods. Find something that somebody's going to treasure. Find a treasure.
So let me ask you, Brent, on the entertainment level, what are we going to see out there that's going to be rocking and different? And anybody suspended by piercings, or what do we got going on?
Philly's a unique animal because it is our base of operations. So I'm closer connected to more of the performers. So I really curated this show specifically to be filled with clowns.
Okay.
So there's a lot of clowns.
A lot of clowns, but
There's
your
so
kind of
many
clowns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
This is not your normal clown.
Okay. All right.
They're quite exciting clowns.
All right. Are you going to be doing any contortion as well?
I'll be doing contortion. I've got some grinder acts and.
What is a grinder act?
Oh, I said it and I was like, this doesn't make any sense. It's as close to fire as you can get without lighting anything on fire because convention centers won't let us do that.
Right. Sure. Hearses and fires.
Hearses and fire, yeah. We've got like fish hooks hanging from eyeballs. We've got glass walking. I've got sword swallowing. I've got human pincushion.
What's the condition that you have that allows your flexibility? You'd mention it.
I'm an alien, and therefore I don't have a fully grown human suit, Steve.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Wait, you said fish hooks hanging from eyeballs?
Eyelids specifically.
All right, so the way that I heard it was fish hooks hanging from my balls. And
From my balls.
that totally threw me off.
We don't have that.
Good.
Well, For a second, I was like, well,
Next
that's
year.
In its
possible.
own tent, we could probably host
Sure.
that.
All right.
Yeah.
Maybe next year.
Yeah, at the family, like when instead of the all ages version, we'll just have its own separate sideshow tent.
Right.
Or like, you want to see the weirdest stuff?
But from
Bryn,
eyeballs.
in that world of things like piercing and,
Yeah.
and doing stuff like that, what's the one that is like close to the edge, like close to going too far? You know what I mean?
I mean, I think that's really subjective as to what people are okay with seeing.
What
and
would you say it is?
for me, any of the suspension and hook stuff,
Okay.
I don't love that.
Yeah.
To aesthetically see, but we do promote it as an all ages event. Like we don't have burlesque dancers and dancing girls. We have stuff that's actually weird.
Okay, right.
And not dangerous. You know, definitely don't try it at home stuff.
This is not, for people who are unaware, if you really want to take a walk and see stuff that you haven't ever seen, this is the event. And you brought some stuff with you today.
Yeah,
right?
by the way, real quick, let me reset. The World Oddities Expo is going to be this Saturday and Sunday at the Pennsylvania Convention Center. You can go to worldoddietiesexpo.com. The times are 11 a.m. to 7 p.m., so it's an all-day event. But yeah, it smells like biology class in here when you came walking in.
Yeah, sorry, that's me.
That's all. What'd you bring with you?
So let me add one point to those hours.
Oh, sure.
So we have a VIP between 10 and 11.
Okay.
And people can go in and get their shopping done early if they like a less of a crowd.
You beat the crowd.
Yeah.
All right. And those tickets are available when you're purchasing the regular tickets.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Or if crowds give you anxiety, you can go early. Too.
There you go.
We have a lot of people that come in headphones.
Yeah.
And you know what? I fully respect that that's your decision.
Yeah.
But I would not be calm if I couldn't hear things because it affects my depth perception.
Yeah.
Like I'm kind of always looking for ninjas, you know?
Yeah. Sure.
Aren't we
Logical.
Yeah, they're always going to attack. Yeah. So I did bring a couple of interesting things. And usually I always bring something that you can see. And this time I brought something I'm really proud of. I've wanted one of these for maybe 20 years.
Can you lift that up a little bit?
Always been out of my price range. Yeah, I'm getting on it, man.
Right.
Don't look at me. I'm not saying that.
No, Adam, we want to wrap up before the evening show. So okay, go ahead.
I understand.
Yeah.
Although I can come back for that. If you want. So this is an automata, and it's a bird in a cage.
Okay. Yeah, it sounds cool.
Now, the thing about this is, you know, we live in a day where we're so spoiled with craftsmanship. This is over 100 years old.
Wow. It's in great shape.
Yeah.
And it's articulated. It's moving. Yeah.
Yeah, his beak is he's chirping.
Is that right?
So
His
that's
beak
old
is flopping.
school mechanical, what you might find in some classic German clock. That was, you know what I mean?
This one is Spain.
Okay.
But they do have German. They're called automata. Have you ever saw the movie Hugo?
Yeah.
And actually, people in the area are kind of lucky. It's a little bit of a hike, but there's a thing called the Morris Museum in Jersey, and they have one of the coolest automata displays in the country.
I love stuff like that.
Me too.
Yeah. A big place, or is it, I mean...
It's a decent sized museum. Yeah, absolutely.
So I didn't realize this was that meticulous. That's very cool. How many are these? Can you find a lot of these?
Yeah,
Are these very rare?
Like I said, I've wanted one for 20 years.
Well, there you go. There's your answer.
And they can cost thousands. And
Wow.
I came across this one, and it really just needed a little lube.
Okay, don't we all?
Yeah.
Where did you find it?
At his age.
Where did you find this piece?
Oh, we don't talk about Fight Club.
Sorry about that.
Well, I bet it's difficult. I bet it's difficult to find people that do maintenance on stuff like that. It's got to be very hard.
It's incredibly difficult to find people that can help you with absolutely any of it.
Yeah.
You know, because
I assume restoration. You may find something that needs to be restored, and that alone can be a multi-year effort.
the mechanics of this, the restorative arts of paintings and ephemera, pickling a wet specimen, preferably.
Kathy always says that.
Yeah.
Pickling a wet specimen is a nightmare.
Right.
Yeah. Absolutely. I made this one.
And what is that?
This is a cycloptic pig. And
a one-eyed pig.
Oh, yeah, one-eyed pig. Cyclopia is really actually called holoprosencephaly, and it's a malformation of the top part of your face, your maxillary process. So where it looks like they have one eye, they actually just have an underdeveloped face.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Huh.
In fact, 2 more Snapple facts. 1,000 years ago, they found dwarf elephants in Greece, and they thought that they were 25-foot men because of the way that an elephant's molars look.
Yeah.
And because they had this big cavity for their trunk. But in old school Greek mythology, the Cyclops had one eye. And they believe this was because before there was PPE, like your glasses invented, a blacksmith would wear an eye patch because if he took a spark, he'd be out of the game. So he would block off one eye so that he had one good one to keep working.
I shudder to think how many 25-foot men were mistaken for dwarf elephants.
Yeah. Yeah.
Adam, can you lift it up just a little bit so for the YouTube camera, which is back over on this side? That way our YouTube audience can see it. So if you just lift it up just a little bit.
By the way, I'm looking at the Cyclopean pig here. Does that have an umbilical cord on its stomach? Is that what that is, or is that a penis?
No. That's an umbilical cord.
Okay.
They don't come off of life support well.
Okay. Oh, he's underlighting it right now to
There
give it
you
a little
go.
bit of a
You need dramatic
ambiance.
lighting.
Like that butt.
And you can see there's a metal clamp on the top of this jar. These are like the Rolls Royce of museum specimens.
Are they? What are they? What is that liquid in there, Adam?
Well, first the initial pickle is formalin.
Okay.
And then after a few months, it purges some of the things that are inside of the specimen, and then we switch it to something that's a little more innocuous. That's not going to shrink everything up, like ethanol or 70% isopropyl alcohol.
So with these things like this, and you see them, if we, the Muter Museum, which they're dismantling, I guess, they have these things that are sealed in all these different liquids. The liquids, we never think about it, but as you're saying, they have to be, I assume, swapped out, and the liquid has to be replaced from time to time, correct?
So after there's evaporation over decades. Formalin turns into an acid after about 50 years.
So it would dissolve its own...
It would just destroy the specimen.
Wow, okay.
As far as the Muter Museum, they go back and forth.
Okay.
And I hope they decide that the reality is that we deserve, even us poor second-class citizens without PhDs, to see these amazing specimens on display and learn from them and be inspired from them as the next generation of educators and preservators. You know, we live in the middle of a mass extinction. And I think there's no more time than right now that we need to really start cultivating the love and the re-engagement of the magic of the natural world as responsible stewards.
You should work for Hallmark.
Thank you.
It's beautiful.
Thank you.
So what would you say is the pièce de résistance? What is the big attraction of these
Money
year's
shot.
Expo? Yeah.
It is, we are legion.
Yeah.
That is the moral of the story. We are legion. We are many, and come as a friend and enjoy. And there will be things that sing to your heart. There will be things that dazzle your soul. There will be things that inspire you, maybe disgust you. Whatever we're going to be doing to Nick, apparently. Yeah, no, we got you. We'll hook you up.
All right, yeah.
Yeah, you'll have some of that stuff on your
so many
nutsack.
clowns.
Yeah. You'll have a nutsack hook.
We're gonna have to wrap in a second, Adam. But what's that bottle of whiskey in front of you there? Did you bring that?
This was a little gift
Okay.
for everybody, just a little taste. And if anybody doesn't imbibe, I understand. But this is one of my favorites. It comes out of Connecticut, I believe, Tamworth Distillery. And these are small batch whiskeys. This one is flavored with beaver castorum.
It's vanilla.
It's a gland near the beaver's anus.
Right.
And they use it to flavor raspberry and vanilla candies once upon a time, as Bryn was saying.
Bryn's nodding furiously. There we go. Yeah.
Yeah. So we drink a lot of Snapple. Is why we know these things. But yeah, this is Eau de Musk from Tamworth Distilling.
Wow.
And I thought I'd bring it for you guys. If you're just, end of a pleasant evening, and you deserve a little
want some beaver ass.
beaver salad.
Yeah.
I think that's the 5th or 6th mention of the word anus on the show today. It's,
Okay.
there's a
Yeah.
lot, because we were
Working
talking
on a
about
record.
You are
Michael
welcome.
Jackson. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
There's a lot of anus mentioned earlier.
before you guys got in
Before you
here.
got here.
fair enough.
We're
Yeah.
pros.
All right. Well, this is if you have been saying, "Hun, we just need to go out and do something different sometime."
Yeah.
I think we found it. for you. It's the World Oddities Expo.
We're proud to host a number of conventions that appeal to this type of audience. And if you think you may not be this type of audience, I'll tell you categorically you're wrong. There's something for everybody.
Yep.
So you got to check it out.
It's this weekend, both Saturday and Sunday, 11 to 7. But as Adam said, there's VIP. You can get in an hour early for a special price, I would imagine. And you'll get all that information at worldoditiesexpo.com. But this only comes around once a year. And Bryn is going to be doing how many different performers?
7.
All right.
Probably more. I don't remember.
All right. So there will be live expos and things like that. Yes, Adam.
So one other thing, can I a quick shameless plug?
Get a little bit closer to the mic, but yeah.
Yeah. Quick shameless plug. My shop, the End Times Boutique,
that's right,
is going to be open until 10 so that people can come after the show or during if they leave too early. And we're at 2152 East Dolphin, Fishtown. It is quite literally this country's premier oddities experience.
Okay.
Nice. Yes,
wow.
And so it's a smaller taste of what you'll find at the convention. Correct?
Adam, what's the name of it again?
The End Times Boutique. We're right next to Circle Thrift in Fishtown.
Okay, all right.
That's our geographic marker.
Conveniently located next to Circle Thrift. No, that's awesome.
Dude,
Excellent.
People know. Philly loves Circle Thrift and Thunderbird Salvage.
All right. Well, good luck with everything. Hope it all goes well. And we encourage people to go and check this out, World Oddities Expo. It's a very rare and cool thing that we have right here based in Philadelphia. I love it. Thank you, Brandon. Thank you, Adam. It's good to see you guys.
Thanks so much for having us.
You got it. Anytime. World Oddities Expo, gang. We're going to take a quick break. And after we have a fetal pig in the studio, I think it's time to have a burger. Our friends at Red Robin have given us all kinds of goodies. I have a $50 gift card, and all you have to do is text the word RED to 610-660-9333. We have a chance to win that. And also, it's valid at Lehigh Valley Restaurant Group Red Robin locations. And Red Robin's new catering menu also includes additions like the Loaded Tater Tot Bar, where you can build your own tot bowl, and also the fresh salad bar, too. And their burgers are world-renowned. So we will take a break. When we get back, Eric Andre is going to be on the show via Zoom. So we'll come back with him. Stay put.
Preston and Steve.
All 93 to hear from Casey.
But Nick has 3 different things. So
I
if
know.
you wanted to, you could do like Nick and then me and then back to
Why
Nick.
don't you let him be the teacher?
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Who went to school for teaching?
Okay, well, then you guys got to hang on a second.
All right.
So I got to get ready here.
Oh, all right. I didn't realize he's actually preparing something. He's got goggles on.
Yeah, I got
He's got an arc welder.
Oh.
He's
All
pulling
right.
something out. I can't
All
tell if
right.
he's reaching into his briefcase or backpack or
Kid has a briefcase?
lunchbox or.
Okay. Hang on a second.
What do you might?
Do we
All
need
right.
to skip you?
No. We're good to go. All right. Turn
All
that
right.
music off there.
Okay. Oh,
Lights,
wait.
please.
Oh, lights are
We're bringing the
down.
lights down.
What's
Do it.
happening?
Turn the
Wait,
lights down. Turn the lights off.
Oh, my
Well, this is
God.
exciting.
All right, here we
Wow.
go,
What's
baby.
What's this all about?
All right,
Okay.
here we go, baby.
Oh, it's got music.
He's dancing.
Oh, look at his shoes.
Oh, wait, I can't see.
He's got light up shoes.
Those are great. What do they call those?
Light up shoes. Oh my God, they're silver and they have like LED lights around the soles of both shoes.
And those are like, what were the ones that you got when you were a kid that had just like the back of them would light up?
Yeah,
Oh,
like
these
when you
are
would
much
step-
better.
No, these are like on all the time. There's probably an on-off button right on the inside of the shoe.
And they change colors and they go all the way around the sole of the shoe, like all the way around. Casey, I love those.
I love it too.
You have to wear those a lot more often.
I know,
Like the
I know.
Sixers games and stuff.
So when did you get those?
Last week.
That's still show and tell. That's fine.
You get
What?
for
What?
show and tell?
What war is that from?
This is the Civil War. This is the end of the Civil War. This is what caused the end of the Civil War.
It was too easy to shoot people in the dark.
Casey, sit back on your chair. Kick your feet up so we can see those. If you can look at that.
Wow.
And do
Dude,
you like
I love those.
do you hit the button and they'll change colors or they'll flash
he
or
was just cycling through the different things he can do. How, if I may ask, Case, how much for something like that?
$37.99.
That's nothing.
Up.
We have. I sent Marissa
Straight from China.
The link. Yes. I mean on the box.
Yeah.
Made in China.
Made in
It's
China.
China, Texas, though.
Thank you,
Next
China.
week, they'll be dead.
They'll be dead, yeah.
But this is worth $37 for yeah.
Totally.
So Thank you, Instagram. You know me so well. Instagram showed me these things, and I was like, okay, let me go to, because the ones that caught my eye were American flag ones.
Oh, I like those for your birthdays, the 4th of July.
But they didn't have them in my size.
So how about the Chinese flag?
No, I didn't. They didn't have a Chinese flag either. But so when I went to the site, they had these ones, obviously like super shiny silver, but they had like goldish ones, and but, I was like, well, I got to get the silver ones because silver goes with more.
Well,
than
let me
gold.
tell you something. These are excellent. Yeah. Those are excellent. Preston, that's...
I love them. Is it okay if I get a pair?
Absolutely.
Okay,
That's why I'm showing
you guys can walk around at night along the boardwalk?
Yeah.
Yes. And then, so I sent Marissa the link. She can share that if you want.
What kind of battery does it take?
Oh, so it charges. So here's
okay.
You have to run really fast.
Yeah, you got to run really, really fast. Runs
They're
on kinetic energy.
exercise
No, so it runs like this. It's got a
And when you
battery
just-
on the inside.
You run that right to your pacemaker?
Run right to the pacemaker, and you're good to go.
Oh, that's excellent.
Casey, do you mind if I ask how much they cost?
$35.
Oh, you said
$37.99.
Gotcha. All right.
Yeah.
$38. That's awesome.
Yeah.
One other question.
Yeah.
Can you strut around the room one more time?
Hell yeah, I got
With the music.
Is our camera picking these up? I hope so, man. Because that is the best, dude.
They're
Casey.
awesome. They're really awesome.
Thank you. Dude, we should all get them. We should have show light up shoes.
I agree.
I will get them.
agree.
I'll
I
gladly
like it.
get them.
And then, Kathy, you could teach us a little short dance routine.
Oh, man.
All right, here's the deal, though.
Whatever our next live event is, we have to do that.
We have to order the shoes at the same time so they all fail
work.
at the same
So they all work at least for a week.
Yeah, because within a week, they'll be dead.
garbage.
By the way, this is my second pair of light up shoes.
Well, you know what? I think because Jace has a pair. He wore them like twice, and then he was like,
Like the
"Meh."
regular blinkies?
No. He has what Casey has, and I feel like you told me. You sent me the link, and that's why I ordered them.
Okay, wait. of these, like this style,
not like not
Well, 'cause
metallic like that.
The
but
other
yeah.
ones that I have they're a cloth white shoe, and the whole shoe lights up with these LED lights.
Okay.
And they're really, really cool.
How much are those?
Probably the same. Those might have been like 50, but even.
Do you remember the gloves you could get where the fingertips would all light up?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
That's what that sounds like.
So, I mean,
the other
listen,
ones.
the whole battery and LED technology is just taking
Cray.
fashion to a whole nother.
Absolutely.
Our fashionista.
The high fashion.
All right, I brought something very old. Casey brought something brand new.
And Nick has a troika.
And we are playing show and tell.
All right, Nick. Show the class what you have.
Or the lights going off.
Can you dance?
Or has been used in a pitch battle during a war.
Very little dancing, but I do have three things. Two of them are related and from my childhood. The third is something that I've referenced on the show many times, and so I'll start with that.
How is it?
It's my 1984 Topps traded.
Oh my God.
Doc Gooden autographed rookie baseball card. And
Was this the Hampton Inn?
this was the George Washington Motor Lodge right off of 202. There's a Home Depot there now. Doc Gooden and Darryl Strawberry were there signing autographs. It was $8 a pop to get their autographs.
And how much is it worth now?
At least $4. I don't know. I bet you if I could find a Mets fan who was willing to buy it, I could probably sell it. But at the time, I bought it. I bought it from Classic Collectibles in the Gateway Shopping Center, and it cost me $30 to buy, and then I paid $8 more for the autograph.
Well, and at this point, you have to keep it. I mean, it's part of
Oh, yeah,
what
it's
you're
part of
known
the
for
legend.
here.
It is mint condition.
So you have Darryl Strawberry, and do you have Doc Gooden as well?
Well, this is the Doc Gooden.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. So this is the Doc Gooden, and by the way, on the front of it says Dwight Gooden, and on the back it says Dwight Gooden, but he signed it Doc Gooden. So
that might make it more worthwhile.
Yeah,
He signed it with his nickname.
Topps put out a few different collections every year.
Yeah.
So they would put out like their normal baseball card set, and then they would put out like rookies sets or traded collections or limited or whatever. This was a Topps traded, which made it a little bit more rare and a little bit more collectible.
Why is it not worth much? Did Doc just fizzle out as a baseball player?
That had part to do with it, but in large part, it's just the glut of baseball cards that came out in the 80s and the early 90s. There was this. It was
like cash.
Well, it was kind of like Bitcoin at the time or whatever. I mean, people spent so much money. There was an investment dollar figure attached to it, but I don't know if these things were ever worth that. But people were willing to pay for that. So that's what they cost at the time. So, yeah, it's my very classic 1984 Doc Gooden signed baseball card.
Right.
And I knew this was going to happen when I saw Nick's stuff. Because when we originally talked about this, I had something, and when we said we were going to do it, I couldn't remember. I remember what.
You remember what it is?
I remember what
good.
it is.
All right, well, we'll do this again.
All right.
Yeah, if we do it again, I know what it is.
I just thought of something now. I thought of something that I have to fix it, but I'll bring it in.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Nick, what else do you have?
So the other two are interrelated, and I don't know if you guys ever had this book, but I got this when I was probably 5 or 6 years old. It's called My Book About Me.
Oh my God, I have that.
Okay, so Casey, you and I are the same age.
Yeah.
And it's a Dr. Seuss book. It's Dr. Seuss and Roy McKee, and basically they ask you 150 questions about yourself, and you fill them in as a 5 or 6 year old.
See, my book was, I think I got ripped off. My book is my book about Nick McElwain.
Oh, yeah.
Weird. You didn't even know him.
I didn't even know him then.
But
That's great.
I was, you could do some drawings. So here's a drawing of a sun.
So cute.
And a
then
hamburger.
A guy. No, Preston. That's not a hamburger.
Hang on.
Wait,
Let me see if I can guess what that is.
Airplane?
No.
I think it's
Bus.
the ocean.
No.
Wait, look.
It's a guy with a lot of eyes and noses.
Okay.
Wait, how do you remember that?
Because I remember going over this with my mom at one point, and she,
Okay.
it was a
Nick
big
doesn't
deal.
have many childhood memories.
Yeah.
He just recalls one or two.
I had to write them down. First of all, there's one thing you should know. Am I a boy or am I a girl? Well, I'll tell you. I am a ... boy.
Yay!
I weigh 60 pounds. How tall am I? 4 feet.
How giant is my head?
I counted my teeth. I have 13 up top. I have 11 downstairs. You draw your hand, so it's little things like that throughout.
Is that book still available? I think that's an adorable concept because I
hope
want to
so.
fill it out.
That's my hair color. See, I drew it. I had a little bit blonder hair when I was a young boy. And so that's blonde with a little bit of brunette there.
Yeah.
How old
You
were
had
you at the
highlights.
time?
I think
You were
5 or
doing the ombre look before it became popular.
I think it was 5 or 6, but there are some pop culture references on here,
Okay.
like including my favorite song, Where in the World I Would Like to Live. Here's my address.
What's your
growing up.
favorite song?
Where'd you say, where would you like to live? Both of them. Answer both questions.
Let's see. Where would I like to live? I got to go back to that one.
All right.
Somewhere Hawaii, the beach.
I live in the United States. I circled the United States, and then I played tic-tac-toe on that page. Okay. And then England apparently made the list.
And then
What song? I want to hear.
song.
I want to hear your favorite song. Oh no! Oh my God!
Wow.
all the way back then.
On Amazon for $10.
That's adorable.
It is 60 steps from my tree to the mailbox. My favorite color back at the time was red. Apparently, I owned 170 buttons.
Wow.
You would go around and get autographs from people in your life. So I
Like
have,
Doc Gooden.
yeah, right. That's what started it. My Aunt Ann signed it. My Uncle Michael signed it. Our mailman Ralph K. Lapp signed
Your
it. At the time.
mailman.
Yeah, I got a policeman's autograph. I got an autograph of a man with a beard.
Don't you think that's amazing for a kid to do that? To basically be interviewed, but to talk about, to be able to express what they're experiencing. It's cool.
Yeah, it was really fun, and I'm glad that I found it. I don't know if it was in my mom's house or in my house when I moved or whatever, but I like to collect leaves, rocks, food. There you go, food, cans, and autographs.
So this is okay. What else do you, Nick? What else do you have for the class?
Well, all right. So I was trying
If
to
you're
find
just
that.
tuning in, this is a show and tell. On
Well, you do
Preston
the
and
next
Steve
item.
show.
Give me, and I'll look through it and see if
Yeah.
I can find anything.
And if I were to get a birthday present that year, and I know that I didn't get it, but what I wanted was more than anything in the world, a BMX bike.
Wow,
that's a good one.
One of the questions: what kind of woman are you attracted to?
That's a good one.
And then this is just something that was. We can go over it if you want, but it's an autobiography that I wrote of myself in 6th grade. So I used sort of that as inspiration.
A Nick in Time.
The title
What
of it
a
is
great title.
Wow.
A Nick in Time, yeah. And
All
I
right.
believe I had to write the title page, Casey, had to appear in perfect cursive.
Wow.
So that's where I did that. So these guys were stored next to each other.
Read a little bit of that
Yeah.
if you would.
All
please.
right.
Start
I'd
with
like
the
to hear
the
it.
dedication.
Some of it.
Okay.
Call me Ishmael.
Chapter 1. Although I've only been alive for 11 years and 11 months, I think I've had an interesting life so far. I know that I've been lucky to do many things and go many places and have had opportunities that other children have not had.
You wrote this?
Yeah.
Wow.
I am thankful for the good. I had a ghostwriter.
Yeah.
Okay.
I am thankful for these good things and also for being a part of a strong, loving family. Well, that's nice. My family background is rather unusual. My mother is Irish and Italian.
Her mother's parents, my maternal great-grandparents, were born in Ireland and came to America in the early 1920s. I knew both of my great-grandparents, Martha and James Kelly, and I got to spend quite a bit of time with them when I was a baby before they died.
It's very good writing.
Really well written.
Do you mention the raisins and the meatballs, which I'm a fan of?
I don't, but here's an interesting fact. I think I may have mentioned this on the air at one point. This is about my mom, Kelly. She did whatever jobs she could, waitressing, house cleaning, caring for other children, and she got a job as a cashier for the Acme supermarket near her home in Elkins Park, Pennsylvania. She made $17.50 a week with the Acme and raised 4 daughters.
Wow.
Her second daughter, Martha, was my mother's mother. She died of cancer when she was 47 before I was born. I'm sorry I never knew her. I think we really would have liked each other.
Is she Nick? Is she the aunt that said cassette?
That was my dad's mom.
Oh, okay.
Had the cassette player, yeah. So there's also all sorts of different chapters in here.
That you have that is so freaking wonderful.
Here's a picture of me when I was 5 months old. I'll hold it for the camera. But, Casey, you mentioned the big head.
Oh, my God. Oh, I thought that was a jack-o'-lantern.
And look at how tiny you have written quite a bit of text in this book.
Oh, is that
Nick.
typed?
Oh, it's typed. Okay, I couldn't tell from here.
Well, this is written, but the portion of the autobiography is typed.
And your mom held on to this?
Yeah.
See, I think if my mom had been around, I think she would have had a story.
Yeah, I've kept a lot of stuff like that my kids have.
I think moms are probably.
Oh my God! Here's my dog from 1986, Tugger.
Tugger.
As a puppy, and then
It's a picture, right? It's not in there.
Yeah, and then here's
93.3 WMMR.
Thank you very much, Kathy. Our next guest is joining us via Zoom, and he has by far the coolest lighting that I've seen.
Yes.
In any one of these interviews. So hang on, we got to match that.
Oh, all right.
I'm gonna do something real
Yeah.
quick.
There you go.
Let's turn on some lights, please, Casey. Got it. There we go. Now we got it going on.
Down with that.
He is on to talk about his podcast. It's called Bombing with Eric Andre. Ladies and gentlemen, the incredible Eric Andre. How you doing, man?
Warm welcome. I woke up 10 seconds ago.
I noticed. Yes, you're literally in bed.
If my dog is still asleep, that means
We appreciate it, though, Eric. It's got a real cool sort of opium den kind of color vibe to it. It looks awesome.
Well, you know what I've been doing? My insomnia is so bad that I'm like, I switched all these lights in my house to red lights, and I got the blue light blocking glasses.
Oh, wow.
My sleep has notoriously since childhood been pretty shitty, crappy.
Yeah.
Is this terrestrial?
Yeah, I got to dump out on that, but anyway, it's all good.
Hit that cough button, baby. Sorry.
No.
It's been a while since I've done terrestrial. May the FCC forgive me for the sin of saying a word that everyone has known for thousands of years.
And everyone says.
You are articulating our pain. Yeah, no, that's what we have to deal with. But getting back to the other issue of like the blue light and stuff like that, that is a real deal. I mean,
that's a real deal.
That will screw up people's circadian rhythm. It'll screw up. There's a whole bunch of things that people are unaware of. Lights on in their room that are effing up their existence.
Yes. Oh, I like that. You taught me a lesson in curse words in the lesson about insomnia.
There we go.
That was poetry. That was terrestrial poetry right there.
Yeah, it's funny, and you bring that point up, Eric, and we learned a long time ago that euphemizing things many times makes it sound 10 times worse than where we just use the regular word.
Mm-hmm. Way worse.
Yeah.
What are these censor boards from what era? The 40s?
Yeah.
The 50s? World War II era censor boards? That's who we're still like kowtowing to? Why?
I
What
know.
is the who are we protecting? It's like it's completely insane. It's completely insane.
I work out in a
whatever.
red light studio. I don't know if it's doing anything, but is it working for you? Is it helping with your sleep?
I got a few things going on with the sleep. So I'm yes, it is, but it's one of many tools that I have. I also, before bed every night at 9:30 p.m., I do a ton of black tar heroin.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
dude.
My doctor was kind of giving me a little pushback, and it just works.
It works.
It works.
That works.
I was listening, like I was like, I might want to try what he's gonna say.
Then you have to try the black tar heroin. Eric, and by the way, you know that you have to run out the prescription because if you don't do it all the way, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
You won't get the refills.
You won't get the refills.
It's
Listen,
an insurance thing. And I have a 6-month-old puppy, so if you see me spring up, it's because he's sniffing where he peed on my bathroom. Look, I got coyotes outside, buddy, and I can't. I live around a lot of coyotes, so I just don't like to take him out.
Oh, he's adorable.
Look at this.
Is that a Bernese Mountain Dog?
No, that'd be cool. I wish. I love how confident you were. It's a mini Aussie Shepherd. But
Okay.
You know what? Yeah, it's a Burmese, whatever.
Bernese Mountain Dog.
Boa constrictor, whatever you say.
Adorable.
Man, look at him. Look at his face. What's his name, by the way?
Well, right now, his name is Dr. Larry Pickles. But it's so long to say at the dog park that we might... There's been discussions of a name change.
Okay.
And the other options are Benzo, which is short for Benjamin Benzodiazepine.
right.
And Harry Connick Jr. was a name.
Harry Connick Jr. I love it.
They're all a little bit too long. Dude, I know you're going to pee.
No,
You're doing the pee walk, and that can't happen, bro.
I like the title. I like the doctor thing. We had a gal that used to work with us, and she had a cat named Mr. Sir Sean Connery. That was his whole name, Mr. Sir Sean Connery. I love it when people put that kind of creativity into a pet name.
I'll tell you, when you have more than one syllable at the dog park, it becomes a huge
Okay,
thing.
it becomes an issue.
Could this current name be truncated down to just Pickles?
It could be, but I'm less excited about it. It's the doctor.
It's the doctor. Yeah, no, I agree. Because you've earned the degree, you have to flash it around. So
you earned the degree, you have to flash it around.
Let me. I follow you on Instagram, and you posted. We were talking about the death of Val Kilmer. You posted a scene that we all love from Top Secret, which is the underwater bar fight.
The best.
One of the best pieces. Go ahead.
It's a cinematic masterpiece. That scene.
Yeah.
The underwater saloon fight should be studied in every film school. It's incredible. It's incredible. And every time I watch it, I'm blown away.
Do you know one of the and the acts the thing that really puts the that puts the button on it all is as he walks out, he sort of shrugs in a cool guy fashion,
twirls his head and winks.
I kicked his ass.
It's great.
It's like
absolutely chef's kiss. Bombing with Eric and Andre. I love this concept. I love. I was listening to a couple of the episodes, and you're basically bringing on comedians and other entertainers who, in some form of their endeavors, have bombed. You, from what you've done, and you've done stand up and everything. And I did stand up for a while. It's a bizarre nuance to it, Eric, because sometimes if you're surrounded by other comedians and you're bombing, it can be a lot of fun if you're with friends. You know what I'm saying? But it has those elements. Do you personally, do you have one point of bombing that just haunts your daily existence?
Oh, my God, so many. I opened up for Chris Rock one time, and, man, I was in the middle of my set, and I was kind of like not realizing how bad I was doing. And this guy just stood up in the back of this massive theater and just went, "Next." And the audience was like, "Yeah."
Wow. Oh, that's in the heart.
And it was so... And I snapped. I snapped at the guy. I was like, "Why'd you come up here and say it to my face?"
Yeah.
The worst. And then the audience is like, "Okay, who are you? Where's Chris?"
Where's Chris Rock? Yeah.
And also, like, I'm selling... If Chris Rock is selling rhythm and blues, I'm selling punk rock at the jazz festival. Like, nobody wanted my music. You know what I mean? I was like, and another thing, not a single reference. And people are like, "What is this? Who is this guy? What is he talking about?"
Sometimes you're in the wrong room. I mean, it happens. I was at a club one night, and a guy was just offering up not much, and the crowd wasn't giving him. Nobody was being mean to him. They weren't heckling him, but they weren't responding. And I saw the guy do this. He turned on the crowd.
Oh, no.
And started blaming the crowd. And I was like, no. No, you can't do
And
that,
then,
man. Yeah.
Hold that mirror to thyself, my friend.
Yeah.
Say to that.
You know, it's funny. I was watching you with Ted Danson. He was interviewing you, talking about the Eric Andre show and the 11-minute time frame and learning how to define who you are so that you work for the audience. It's something you have to learn over a while. And you were kind of brilliant about the way you were going about knowing what, if you're going to be, for example, like you did the prank movie Bad Trip, or if you're going to do it, you have to realize how not to lose the audience and all of that. And you got to find that sweet spot. And you made me think of talking about bombing. I saw a guy come out one time and he faked being deaf to get the audience on his side. I said, kid you not. And when he revealed it, he could have played it he did not play it the right way, and the audience went bat as crazy.
Oh, they turned on him?
Yeah. But I mean, for you, what you do is so much, this absurdist sort of stuff that's so brilliant. I mean, you have to test it. Was that an arduous process finding your voice for this?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, finding my voice for comedy. Yeah, we kept like getting in trouble the first few seasons of the Eric Andre show. Like I got arrested, and guests would publicists would try to boycott us and stuff like that. It was, kind of by design, I guess. But being arrested, it's really bad for production when you get arrested while you're shooting.
Yeah.
It's not good. The insurance policy goes up, first of all.
Yeah.
And a lot of things I didn't think about when I was 28, 29 years old. But I'm middle-aged now.
Well, in middle age, you've had a successful career, and I want to ask you about two particular things because I've been a fan of yours for a long time, Eric. But the two things that come to mind for me most are Pop Star, the faux TMZ scene with you.
Wow, thank you.
And Righteous Gemstones is just unbelievably great. It's such a wonderful show. What was your experience like on that show?
They're the best. Danny McBride and his whole company, they're just the best. They film in Charleston, South Carolina, which is one of my favorite towns. And I don't know, they got it dialed in. They're so talented. The writing is so good. They got such a good cast. I learned a lot just from being on that season of the show, and I don't know, they're just an absolute pleasure to work with.
No, your story arc was fun, especially as the rock star, pastor, which must have been a blast playing out those scenes. But because I watched it, Andre, but it's been a couple of years since that was out. But did you and John Goodman share scenes together?
We shared scenes and we shared a bedroom together.
Oh, very good.
Wow. That's amazing.
Which a lot of we're not really supposed to talk about. But
Got it.
Yeah, when you can
and his wife had to come around to the whole thing. But,
there ain't no ass.
John Goodman's the best, by the way. He's the best legend. I was very intimidated by him, but he made me feel at ease. Good. He was very sweet.
Nice.
And he liked that he just kept asking me questions about Howard Stern. He was like, man, what you do on Howard, man? Did you really take a Viagra on Howard? I'm like, yeah, I really took a Viagra. You're crazy, man.
Well, he's known for a history of, he's
back in the day.
Back in the day, he was a hardcore partier. Yeah. Preston has a story.
Well, I saw him at a strip club one night in St. Louis. He had a stripper on his piggyback. He was running around behind the bar. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't.
He's having a grand old time.
He's just having a grand old time. Going back to your podcast, Eric, your fellow comics have got to love sharing their bombing stories. They've got to love that this is what the focus is on this.
Oh yeah, it's cathartic. It's therapy. It's like group therapy.
Yeah,
because comedy and a career in entertainment is traumatizing, and it's endless failure. It's a career of never-ending failures and mistakes that you have to learn from. It's trial by fire. So everybody has, and we have, musicians on and actors on and directors on and chefs on, so everybody can relate. It's really stories of failure that everybody and anybody can relate to.
It's funny because one of the great Norm Macdonald, when the story was he would sometimes purposefully bomb out, to make the comedians he was touring with laugh. And I forget who came up after him, and it may have been maybe it was David Spade or something. And he goes, Norm Macdonald, ladies and gentlemen. That's what you got tonight. Knowing that you got that mischievous Norm Macdonald. So
yeah, he was the best.
Yeah, there's a whole plethora of possibilities with the podcast, and this stuff is terrific. So really enjoyable.
Awesome. You guys can come on any time. What's the worst gig you've ever had in your life, or what's the worst show?
We were just.
What's like a nightmare? Give me a.
I can tell you one quickly. We were just talking about we had a giveaway at our old radio station where it was for the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And we were going to bring what was told to us was a large screen TV
This is
set.
like 25 years ago.
25 years ago. Preston, how big was that screen?
It was 35 inches.
35 inches.
That,
Eric, they moved like a 55, 60-inch set to make room for the new set. We show up, and in the basement, they have a projector. They have like 150-inch TV. And we showed up, and we felt like throbbing units walking in there like, oh my God. It was, and we had to spend the evening with them watching the game.
Yeah.
And it was just excruciating.
Yeah.
Now, I just found out that you cannot say throbbing unit.
Oh, damn it.
All right, we'll fix it in post.
I will send you an invoice.
Thank you, man.
Fine.
All right.
Yeah.
We know you got to talk to a lot of people, Eric.
Thank you, guys.
We're huge fans. Huge fans. Thank you for joining us.
I appreciate it.
You got it, man.
Of course. Thank you, guys.
Good luck with everything. Bombing with Eric Andre, guys. I love that guy. He's fantastic. Yeah. So.
Have you ever seen him in Pop Star Never Stop?
I have just parts of it. I need to see the whole movie.
So Will Arnett is basically playing, the Harvey Levin.
Yeah.
But every time they do things, the reporters, the TMZ reporters, as just like the show, start cackling. And he starts cackling so much, he starts going.
I love it. Excellent. All right. Hey, I wanted to, real quick, I mentioned this at the top, that we announced live band karaoke for the Preston and Steve Show side stage at the MM Barbecue. Sidearm is coming back once again. They're going to be the backing band. This is not like regular karaoke. This is not playing to a track. This is you jibing with other musicians on stage, having that communication that musicians do when they're live in front of a really cool crowd. This could be you, but I want to stress, if it's not you, I'll bet you know somebody who would love to be a part of this or maybe needs a little nudge to do it and send in an audition YouTube link, which is real easy to set up. Even if you don't have a YouTube account, you can slap one together like that and send it over to us. Very simple to do. WMMR.com will walk you through it. But the deadline for this is April 21st. And the 10 singers who are going to be chosen are also going to get 4 packs of MM Barbecue tickets.
Which is sensational. So, and I will always in tandem when you mention this, Preston, the fact is that everyone who's gone up, the reaction from the crowd is so cool. You will feel like a rock star for a couple minutes.
Totally. I tried to feel like a rock star the other day.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I have another little follow-up to that. We were, just to reiterate, it was on April 1st, and we were playing Nobody's Fool from Cinderella, and in the video for that song was one of the first times I've ever seen somebody throw the guitar around their neck, especially backwards. I had never seen that before. And Jeff Labar of the band had that became kind of a trademark. He taught him how to do it, and his brother had emailed me the other day to say he actually learned it from another band. And then he gave me this story about how the fact that when you try to do it, you have to have the strap set a certain way.
Yes.
You have to have certain mechanics, and it definitely won't work with an acoustic guitar. But I tried it with an acoustic guitar, banged my head. We got a video out of it. Here's the audio.
Oh, he hit himself right in the head.
That was the moment. I got another email.
Oh, boy.
Concerning this. And this says, this is from Michelle. And she said that Eric Brittingham once broke his wrist after a show at the Spectrum. I worked at an insurance company that insured the band and had to call him the next day for the accident details. And his wife told me that he's kind of in a band and he swings his bass. And I said, yeah, I was at the show last night. So apparently he broke his wrist.
Doing that very thing?
I guess doing that very thing, yeah. So he was with Cinderella.
You got off easy then.
And even the guy in the band hurt himself at one point.
What made?
Dude, that's like the Benson Boone or whoever who performed at the Grammys.
Did the flip off?
He did the flip off the piano.
Yeah.
Like, you're taking a risk there, buddy.
Could have gone bad.
Yeah.
Could've gone
In front of a huge audience.
Yep.
And all of your heroes and peers that are sitting in the audience right there, but he nailed it, man.
Yeah, but you're right. I mean, that's when you got to say there is no room for screwing up because we've seen. I just think of the Steven Tyler on stage falling off. I think of who got clocked with the curtain.
That was Brett Michaels.
Brett Michaels.
Oh,
Yeah.
my God.
He had a brain bleed after that.
Chris Novoselic, he threw his guitar up.
His bass. Yeah.
Dave Grohl.
Dave Grohl.
Hit him in the head. Oh, yeah. Dave
Broke his leg
up real bad.
Yeah. He had that thrown for at least an entire tour.
And it just sucks when you do that in front of people. You know?
Yeah, it really sucks.
God, yes.
Sucks awful bad.
That's way worse than the pain.
Yep.
Most definitely. I had my youngest and I went to Acadia National Park for a visit, and I was walking out on it was low tide, so all these rocks were exposed, and I walked out on the rocks, and I knew they were probably slippery, but it didn't matter. And I was by myself. This is right by our hotel, and I did a full-on legs up in the air, boom. Before the pain even set in, the first thing I did was to look around and see if anybody saw it or not. Nobody was around.
Yeah.
So thankfully, and then I passed out.
I'm going to then bring up one which was because we heard it, we didn't see it. The Blarney Castle in Ireland.
Oh God, that hurts so
old
bad.
moss covered. We're in the castle, which is it's an old castle. You go up, you kiss the Blarney Stone, but you can go into the actual opening of the castle up front. Preston goes off, and then all of a sudden you're.
Yeah, that was bad.
When my kids were little, they used to do these pep rallies at the school every Friday. Not every Friday, but like during football season. And so they would have these games, and they asked me to MC these things, so I would MC it. And they were doing this like relay race of sorts. And one of the teachers was in the relay race, and she was, probably in her 60s. And she just tripped over her own feet, fell like a ton of bricks, smashed her. Like she didn't even have time to put her hands up to break her fall. So she basically bounced her face off of the gym floor.
Oh my God.
And I actually, I knew it hurt, but
You had to laugh.
I felt worse for her peace of mind than I did for her actual
You saw somebody wipe out yesterday.
Yeah, I
at
did.
A track
and my
meet.
daughter's track meet. This girl was about to win the 100-meter.
She was about to
dash.
win?
She was about to win. This is about 10, maybe 15 yards from the finish line. Now the girl on her right was coming up, and I think maybe was going to pass her anyway, but she just went down like a ton of bricks.
My God.
I'm surprised that she wasn't all bloody because it wasn't like one of those clay.
Was it cinder?
No, not even cinder. It looked like blacktop.
Okay.
Like maybe, I don't even know, like a softer black, but dude, she went down like a ton of bricks. You could hear it.
It's wild to see the way the body can literally bounce when it goes down that way. It is simultaneously terrifying and you feel empathetic, but there is part of us that makes us laugh as well. So,
all right. Well, listen, while we have a couple of minutes to play with, I have noticed a couple of things that.
Now with head wound. He notices the type doesn't look quite right.
My friend Steve McLean texted me yesterday out of serious concern, and he's like, dude, don't take that lightly. He's like, he said he had a friend who hit his head and then like 3 or 4 days later had a brain bleed.
Wow, yeah.
So he wants me to check it out with Dr. Mike. So.
Well, before we do that, we do have an electric guitar in Zach's studio.
No,
you don't want to try with an electric?
No.
It's done.
No,
now that we know it has to be modified.
All right, no, I noticed this. This is a really interesting story. How many of us have been to France?
Me.
No.
I have, but it was. Did you go swimming when you were in France?
Yes.
You did. Beach or public pool?
Both.
Okay, so I'm wondering if this is the same. Well, actually, it is. It's been around forever. If you go to France for vacation, you might not be aware of the rules surrounding swimwear for men. Does this ring a bell?
Nope.
Okay, so while you can wear what you like if you are headed to the beaches, if you use a swimming pool, the rules are tighter. Many pools in France prohibit the majority of baggy or loose-fitting swim shorts and instead insist that men don a pair of tight-fitting trunks to swim in their pools.
Well, I did notice that. Sub-noticing, you're noticing, and it's kind of a stereotype, but French dudes wearing Speedos.
I mean, it's kind of traditional in Europe, period.
Yes.
Well, there's actually a reason behind it.
Okay.
I think I can guess what it is.
Okay.
The tight fit sort of keeps everything in. Like
I thought that too, but that's not the case.
It isn't,
It's got to
huh?
be filter stuff, right?
So many pools in France run by Eurocamp, the holiday park giants that have sites all across Europe, and they have this rule, and they explained why, which many Brits, this is a British written article, find it to be strange, intimidating, perhaps not fully understanding the reason behind it. And it has nothing to do with the French style. It's simply because of hygiene and safety, they claim. Eurocamp explained, saying, unlike body-fitting swimming briefs, most styles of men's shorts can just as easily be worn throughout the day, with some even having pockets. As such, they'll pick up more dirt and dust, contaminating pool water. Also, loose shorts retain a lot more water when you're getting out of the pool, leading to slippery puddles of water on the sunbathing terraces.
So it's just that efficient. They think that it actually does make sense.
Yeah. At the Y, it's not like they require it, but there is a sign that they want you to basically shower before you go into the pool or the hot tub.
Really?
Yeah. And so I went into the hot tub. This is a few months ago. But I was in the sauna, and then I went to go hot tub afterwards. I'm going to step in, and there's a guy was in the hot tub, and he's like, "Yo," and he points up at the sign, and I'm like, "F you, bro."
He's
like,
a rules dude.
Yeah, I'm not like a read a signs guy.
The
you know
sign
what I mean?
said you had to bathe before you.
It sign said a million things, but one of the things it said was, wash off before you come in.
Now, I said a rules guy as if that's a bad thing. I am actually a rules guy, believe it or not. But that one I find kind of stupid.
This water is chlorinated.
It's chlorinated.
Yeah.
You've gotten out of another chlorinated. If you're going from the pool to the hot tub?
I went to sauna.
From gym to
sauna
or sweating. Is it a sweat thing? I don't know what the
think
intent
it's
of
a
that
sweat
rule
thing.
is.
I think it's the sweat. I think the perception is that you should wash off your sweat before you get into the pool.
A hot tub and sweat.
When you are in warm water like that in a hot tub, because I know when I get out of a hot tub, I will start sweating.
Yeah.
Aren't you releasing sweat into the water
you are.
anyway?
Yes, you are.
I don't know.
That's what I would think.
I don't know.
All right.
I never realized that I sweated while swimming until I was in swim practice, and then afterwards trying to put my school uniform on.
Yeah, but are you actually sweating while you're swimming? I don't think
Yes.
you are. I think it's raising your body temperature, and then when you get out and you hit the air is when
That's the shift. Yeah.
is when you start to actually your body sweats.
I'm totally sweating. If I'm swimming a mile,
thank you.
If I'm swimming a mile, if I'm swimming constantly for a half hour, 40 minutes, I'm definitely sweating while I'm doing it.
How do you know you're sweating when you're submerged in water?
I know.
All right, here's the answer. Sorry. Yes, you sweat when you swim, although it may not be as noticeable as when exercising on land because the water helps cool your body and the sweat evaporates quickly. And then it gives a full, detailed explanation as to why that happens, and that's very lengthy. So, according to Google,
Go
you
figure.
sweat while you're swimming.
Yeah.
All right. So, anyhow, they also said that wearing tighter swimwear wastes less water. Like I said, the material in tighter trunks are made. They're made of usually dry faster, which also staves off potential buildup of bacteria.
So it would be they used to stop years ago, some of the pools we'd go to, they'd stop if people had kind of made their own.
Yeah, cutoffs.
Cutoffs.
Like we wouldn't,
You
I
couldn't swim in
remember
those.
being told to get out of the pool because I was wearing cutoffs.
Yeah.
And I was a regular cutoff wearer.
Yeah.
But I had heard, because, there's all those frays
right
at the bottom of the cutoffs that they may get in and get in the filtration system. So I don't know. Hell.
I've been lucky enough to go to France a bunch of times, and one of the times where I went, I stayed with this family. They're called the Manzos, and Sebastian Manzo and I are still friends. It's a cool thing of Instagram. We're able to connect with one another. And one of the things that Sebastian and I did for each other was translate movies. So this relates back to what you're talking about, Preston. The French word for pool is piscine. It's Piscine. That is also the word for a fish pond. So we were watching Caddyshack one time, and the joke of pool or pond doesn't translate into French because it's the same word. So I had to explain to him the joke of, yeah, we got a pool and a pond. And he's a cinephile. He loves American movies, but he just did not understand that joke because in French, piscine is both pool and pond.
Huh.
Isn't that funny?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. So once you explained it to him that it's a little more gross, there's dirt, there's mud, there's animals, there's bacteria.
Right. But the French word for pool comes from a fish pond, and so when they translate it in the movie, which we watched we watched the dub version of it. He didn't get it.
What was his last name?
Manzo, M-A-N-Z-O.
Yeah, you said the Manzos. It sounds like a euphemism for boobs to me.
Manzos?
Check out the Manzos. Man boobs.
Look at the Manzos on that guy.
Yeah. All right. So anyway, back to this real quick, and then we'll move on. They said that you don't have to wear tiny, itty bitty Speedos.
Okay, you have to wear a Speedo.
It says if you are not keen on slipping on a pair of conventional Speedos, you can still opt for swimming shorts. Just make sure they're more fitted and above the knee, and opt for fabrics that are designed for the water.
By the way, I am wholeheartedly a bathing suit with spandex liners guy, and I will never, ever go back.
Those are good.
Yeah.
Yep.
My dad always wore, growing up, we were the family whose father had a Speedo on. Like, he refused to wear regular bathing suits. And my mom would, because he was a skier, a water skier. Like, he felt like it was like lagging and dragging, and he would swim laps and all that, and he would have the Speedo on. But we would go on vacation. My mom would be like, all right, you have to put a regular bathing suit on. The kids are getting older. They're teenagers. Put the regular bathing suit on. So he did. We were on the beach, and we were laughing at him because he didn't want to buy a new bathing suit because he didn't like it. So he took one of my brothers, who at the time were larger than him already. So he's wearing this oversized bathing suit, and he's he's complaining, I hate it, it's sticking to me, it's it's hot, whatever. My mom's like, well, then buy a bathing suit that fits you. So he's standing on the beach, and he was like, F it, and he ripped the bathing suit down, and he had a Speedo underneath it, and he jogged from wherever we were sitting into the ocean, dove in his Speedo. We were hysterical laughing, and
That's
at that
great.
point I was like, Mom, we don't care, just let him wear the stupid Speedo.
Oh my God, that's fantastic.
He still does. Even he won't wear the little teeny ones, but he'll wear it has to be shorter shorts and very European.
So I have this story about seeing a man wear an interesting bathing suit on the beach, and it's got a Philadelphia celebrity tied to it. So I was probably, 10 years old, something like that. It was in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. I've told the story on the air before. And it was Chubby Checker. Who was on the beach. I ended up becoming friends with his son, Shan, at this. Yeah. That's where I met him. But Chubby was wearing, full-on butt floss. G-string.
Was he living up to his name?
Out on the beach. I didn't see the front part. I just saw he was out there with Shan building a sandcastle.
With his full ass.
On hands and knees.
Yeah.
And it was the talk of the resort.
I don't know, man.
I know.
Listen, and you may have a spectacular, perfect ass, but I don't want to see it.
But Steve, if you're Chubby Checker though, you've earned it, right?
I guess you have. Yeah, man.
Apparently, he was on stage of the show that night and talked about the bathing suit causing a stir. And some women go, "You can wear whatever you want, sweetheart." So anyhow, but if you're in France, you have to wear a tighter suit for men. They're not going to kick you out or anything, but
get out.
They recommend it. All right, I noticed another thing.
More from the noticer.
So there's a dating app that is called Tribal, and it's different in that it promises a match with someone without showing you their face. And how do we feel about this?
Some people will consider it a beautiful testament to love, and others will consider it a nightmare.
I couldn't do it.
Wait.
I could try it maybe, but, I couldn't see. I need to know.
I've been looking forward to this date for so long.
No, because... I feel like it's been my experience that there was a physical attraction first.
Yes.
With anybody that I've dated.
We are site based.
Yeah.
At least on the
onset.
On the onset.
You know what? And listen, it is absolutely, it's happened to me before. People that you and it goes both ways. The movie Truth About Cats and Dogs. One of the characters mentioned this. It's somebody who's really beautiful, but you get to know them can become very, very ugly in who they are.
Right.
And the opposite can happen. Somebody you might not give a second glance to, if you spend enough time with them over time, they can become more attractive
Yes,
to you.
it does happen all the time.
And it's
Initially,
not just
though.
a physical thing, but initially, yeah, we all have that, right?
That's what you do.
But this is called Tribal. It was created by clinical psychologist Rachel Harker and is to encourage singles to focus on more than what someone looks like.
There's finally hope for goobers.
So they can form deeper, more meaningful connections.
Goober.
I love that word. It's a great word.
It's just a funny word.
Goober. He found it funny.
But his correspondence, I really do love candy bars.
Judging a person purely... We've made a love connection.
Oh, my God. Sloth and Nell.
You want to kiss me? Conk.
Judging a person purely by their photo has fostered a culture of objectification and self-surveillance that isn't healthy or sustainable. She says, I kept thinking there must be a better way to use technology to connect people in a more positive, authentic, and meaningful way.
I think, it's nice if you can connect to someone, on a more profound level, and that has happened. And there's been many cases of people who didn't meet someone or would talk to someone at long distance over the phone, and that can be wonderful as well.
I don't mean this as an insensitive question, but would this be a good app for a blind person?
Yeah.
I mean, and are there dating apps for blind people?
Let me feel your face. Oh, you're a pig.
So Harker got the idea for Tribal, which is both a friendship finding app and a dating platform. And here's how it works. Users are matched based on shared values, interests, and communication styles after answering 44 questions for tribal dating and 33 for tribal friendship. But what makes it really different is it blurs the user's profile for 72 hours.
Okay.
So you communicate with them for a little while and eventually they show it to you.
It ain't blurred enough. This is like Boca.
The one on the
I can
right
tell the
is
dude
so
on the right is a good-looking dude.
Well, that's what they're using for an example.
Yeah.
During that time, they can hear...
If you can't determine how many eyes the person has.
They can hear their match's voice with a voice memo feature, which helps add a layer of human connection on top of the text-based chats.
Are you the kind of girl who likes purring? I've been looking for you.
The idea is that singles will form deeper, more meaningful first impressions without seeing each other's faces right off the bat. It's kind of like that, the blind...
Love is Blind.
Love is Blind,
yeah.
thank you, where they don't see each other and they communicate. They do that for a while.
Do you know what
this is kind of like a shortcut version of that.
You can find them on YouTube. They have the old files from those dating videos, those services that would do, and they would put, that was the whole purpose. You could put yourself up and out there and kind of see the person. What do you think about this? Would this ever been anything that would have appealed to you?
In my dating days, no, without question. I think I've told this story before. This is one I'm embarrassed of.
Okay,
and that I regret.
Right,
and that I handled this the wrong way. But there was a girl. Back in the day, you had to talk on the phone, the landline.
Yeah.
And there was a girl that knew somebody or whatever. I was talking to somebody, and this girl was over their house. And I'm like, put her on the phone. And so we started talking to her. I've never met her before.
Yeah.
Dude, we talked for hours.
It was great.
Hours. Really getting along wonderful. And I'm like, oh, man, this could be really cool. And so we planned a meetup, all right? And she was going to be in her neighborhood waiting outside by this.
That's where she lived, outside.
There was like a little roundabout in her neighborhood. And so she was going to be waiting there. And I said, okay, I'll drive by. Now, here's what my car looks like. And so I come pulling up.
Oh, no.
This is so mean to say, but this is me, teenager at the time. I was probably 16 years old, 17 years old, something like that. And she was gnarly looking.
She was gnarly.
And now she doesn't know what I look like either.
Right.
Okay, so
she knows the car though, right?
Dude, we made eye contact, and I just kept on going. And I, to this day, feel
So bad.
horrible about that. I don't remember her name.
No
none
further
of that stuff.
communication?
She called me later. I'm like, I went by there. I didn't see her.
Oh my God, I must have gotten lost.
I totally lied, Kathy.
You feel terrible about
Yeah.
that? Just as bad as splashing around in the toilet so you could leave?
Oh, no.
That was tactical. That was him being smart.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty bad, too. I was really bad.
You got what you wanted, jumped in her toilet and left.
I'm out of here.
At least she got some.
Pretending like I was throwing up. I gotta go.
I'm so sick.
I gotta
Are
go.
you the one we spoke to? No, you're too unattractive.
Thank God I have this show to
Say sorry.
To say sorry and
hope it goes out in the ether and they
throw
hear
it all out
Yeah.
there and just get it out of my system. But yeah, so no, Steve, this would not work for me.
No,
clearly.
okay.
I don't think so. I need visual. There needs to be an initial physical attraction, and like I said, things
Something.
can change after that. But off the bat, it's got to be that way. So if this is something that's interesting, you can check that out. Interesting to you.
To me, the app would have more. It would be more of an experiment. Those photos are not blurred enough to really not give you an indication.
Right.
Our blind listener, Tucker, wrote in a text about dating sites for blind people, Preston. If you want to read it, it's right here.
It says dating sites for blind people would make no sense. I don't want to date a blind person. I need someone that can drive an effing car. You're right, Tucker.
Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate that. But on that same note, I do have a friend who's single now and is, checking out.
Dipping the toes back in?
Just to see what's out there. Oh, my God. Yeah, he sends us the funny ones.
The amount of blind poontang out there.
He sends us the funny ones, not the.
Oh, really?
the
Good, bad, and
potentials.
everything in between?
No, the ones that are like, oh my God, like,
oh, okay.
Look at this picture. What are they doing here? Why did you take a picture like that?
What
Not just like ugly or anything
Right.
like
Yeah.
that, but really in front of you're taking an unclean toilet or whatever behind you, stuff like that.
So yeah,
It's
not being
hilarious.
cool, but yeah. So what is there one particular app that's being used above others?
I don't know.
I wonder what the current the in-demand app is these days for people who are using apps to date.
I mean,
I wonder if Tinder's still the most popular.
But like honestly, Instagram.
Instagram.
Because you built a community and sort of you can do friends of friends, Steve, and it's ways of meeting people that know that have similar interests or whatever, and you can put yourself out there in a way that's not, hey, I'm here to date.
Yeah.
But if you want to use it for that intent, it's there for you.
Speaking of Instagram, there's something else that I noticed, and it is from Visual Capitalists. They have come up with the list of the most visited websites worldwide. And so, these can have app tie-ins as well, like Instagram, because that's either, you can do either or.
The scrollers.
Yeah. So unsurprisingly, Google is the world's most visited website.
It's a search engine, yeah.
But people spend nearly double the amount of time on YouTube. So you may have a certain amount of visits on Google, but you'll spend more time on YouTube.
Do you remember the story we were talking about the YouTube guy, the guys who created YouTube, and they had just at the beginning, and there's some video footage of them sitting around talking about they're like worried because there's nobody submitting videos to YouTube. And then they sold it about, a year later for $3 billion or whatever?
It was 1 point something, I remember, because I ran into one of those guys. It was at, I've mentioned this before, in Conshohocken, there used to be a restaurant. A basketball player owned it.
Billy Cunningham's?
C's. What's that?
Billy Cunningham's?
Billy Cunningham.
Yeah, it was Cunningham's. And I met one of the guys there. It was right as the YouTube sale
really?
went
Wow.
down. I forgot who he was, but I knew he had local ties.
Young guy.
Unless the guy was lying to me, he
Yeah.
was a young
No,
guy.
There was a Philly dude that was it was 1.65 billion, and
Yeah, there you go.
Now owned by Google.
Wow. And imagine what it's worth now. 1.65 billion versus now.
Stop and think about it. How, as you said, so it's the second most visited site, globally. I mean, that is an amazing amount of revenue.
So when it comes to social media platforms, well, here, going back to YouTube for a second, on average, people spend 20 minutes and 47 seconds on YouTube, the highest amount of time of any of the top 20 visited websites worldwide. Now, I don't know on average in what, is that per week? 20 minutes and 47 seconds?
That's
No,
per
it's
hour.
got to be per hour, yeah. When it comes to social media platforms, people spend more time on X than Facebook and Instagram, but Instagram actually ranks number 4 on this list. So here's the top 10 in order. So you have Google, then YouTube, then Facebook, then Instagram is 4th, followed by X, WhatsApp, ChatGPT is 7th, Then you have Wikipedia. Reddit is number 9. And rounding out the top 10 is Yahoo.
Virtually never on Yahoo, virtually never on Reddit. The other ones, yes. I spend, for ease of use, I end up on X a lot, Instagram a lot. I was just streaming on Instagram last night. But you know what the problem is with Facebook? To me, is such a pain in the ass. The only reason I maintain the accounts, I have a couple, are to access the live streaming function of Instagram and for my Meta, my headset.
The only reason I hang on to Facebook is if for some reason I need to contact.
Right.
Because mine is mainly like people from my childhood.
Okay. Yeah.
And high school days. If I need to reach out to somebody, I've got a repository where I can find them.
What about that girl that you ran by in the cul-de-sac?
But I told you I don't remember who she was. Oh, man.
Don't remember her name at all?
No.
Eileen Warnos. She went off to, she killed truck drivers after that event.
I don't even remember.
I
the
hate
girl.
old men.
I don't even remember the girl who used to write my term papers.
You don't know her name?
No.
You got to be able to look her up, though.
She was a senior and I was a junior, and I don't remember.
But
Give me my first handy.
Really?
Yeah.
Let's look. Google that.
Was she doing it while you drove past
Preston's first handy.
Was she doing it while you drove past that other girl?
Well, she had to write my term paper with the other hand.
Yeah.
So.
Come on. This penmanship is horrible.
There's a guy who's an attorney somewhere, and his name is Preston L. Handy.
There is. Preston L. Handy.
I just Googled Preston's first handy, and this was one of the first things that came up.
L stands for
Larry.
Lube.
I'm so glad I've changed. You know,
You can't wear the same stuff.
No, and I'm not talking about clothes.
Yeah, no, you're.
I was a moron.
You were a kid.
What's that?
You were a kid.
I know, but there were better kids than me. There were worse, definitely. That's for sure.
Here's a hypothetical. How well would you have gotten along with your teenage self, with your current self and your teenage self? Would there have been enough to make you a viable friend for your current? Okay.
I like me pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think I would have been all right.
Wasn't that just a movie that came out with Aubrey Plaza?
My ass, something about my ass.
Yeah,
my
where
old
she
ass.
befriends herself somehow or
She
another.
becomes friends with a different, my old ass.
Yeah, so she is the older her goes back and gives wisdom to teenage her.
I haven't seen it yet. Did you watch it, Steve?
No, but I hear it's really good.
Yeah, me too. I want to check it out.
Yeah, that's an interesting concept.
Yeah.
If you went back
I'd hate myself.
to give the advice to your younger self,
Preston,
you would hate yourself?
I'm from the future.
Yeah.
Here's my advice. Get more handies.
Now, Casey, if I went back as my current self, I probably wouldn't like me.
That was my question.
I thought you meant
No.
if I was a teenager and I met somebody else who was identical to me, would I like them?
If you right now went back to yourself as a teenager, what would you feel about yourself?
I'd be like when old Biff goes back to see young Biff and tell him what an idiot he is.
Yeah.
It's make like a tree and leave, you idiot. So, all right. But anyway, a couple of other websites we do have to wrap up. Amazon was 13th on the list overall.
Really?
And TikTok was 14th. That's interesting. These are how long your visits last is part of that. So I guess TikTok has a shorter amount of time that you spend on that.
And think of YouTube. The videos are going to be longer form.
Yeah.
They do have their shorts.
Yeah.
You know.
All right. Anyhow, I'm done noticing. I've stopped that right now.
The
So
noticer's done, and he's reflecting upon his days of youth and his hand job.
thank you for my therapy session and my handy. We're going to take a break. We'll come back in a second. And we do have bizarre file stories. We'll share them. All right. Stay there.
Preston and Steve.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
And here's me, my mom, and my two brothers at Disney World in the spring of 1985 with another dog, Pluto.
Hey, Nick, has your son, has Ben seen this?
He's not.
Oh.
No, I think we'll
blow
share it
his
this
mind.
weekend.
Yeah.
Wow.
I want to go through that. I want to look at Tucker.
Because I told you, my dad, he spoke into a digital recorder for about 4 or 5 hours in different segments.
That's cool.
And gave me a chronicle of our early lives and everything, and I'm going through it right now.
Wow. That's really cool, Nick.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's
well
awesome.
done.
Hey!
All right.
And then the third?
Well, I think
We don't have
that
time?
was his third thing.
Oh, that was your third?
Yeah, Doc Gooden, the Book of Me, and the
May I say,
autobiography.
all you guys had good stuff.
And by the way, Nick, a number of people are texting us saying that your Doc Gooden card is worth about $445.
I'll sell it to you right now.
Sold.
I don't know if you guys knew that I'm an artist. This is a bird.
With a penis.
Now, I think
That's a tail.
That's
Oh.
that's a red penis. But it does look like a penis.
That's the Dr. Seuss bird. That's the bird I drew.
Nice job, Nick McElwain. Thank you. It's show and tell, and I think we have time for Marissa.
Marissa, what do you have for the class?
She just ran out of her office.
Yeah.
So she didn't know she was going to be doing it.
Yeah, she was telling me out before we started the segment. She had one just in case we didn't have enough, or we had too much time.
She's filling out one of those Dr. Seuss books right now.
Well, she wasn't sure if the segment didn't go anywhere and we had extra time, we could put her in. But
She's got a big package.
We got just enough to do another one, and then we got a break because we have some guests coming up in a moment. All right, Marissa.
Is that what is that? A canned ham?
Oh my God.
She just dumped something heavily on the counter.
I mentioned this before, and you guys kind of lit up. And it lives in my house, and I get to see it every day, and I'm really excited to share it with you guys.
Okay.
All right.
Oh.
Whoa.
It is an old-time adding machine.
Oh, wow.
Or the calculator, if you will, but it's a type that you would find in like a store.
And you pull the lever down when
the clerk would print up your receipt.
Or at Magnata and Sons office in South Philadelphia, because this was my grandmother's adding machine where she kept the books.
Let's hear some noise from that. Let's hear it. Crank it. There you go.
That's really cool.
That's awesome. When my grandparents had one, it was a little bit bigger than that. And as a kid, I played with it all the time. I loved it.
You're fascinated. Preston, we used to have the old, Underwood typewriters. I mean, the real old, the kind of stuff Tom Hanks collects. And you're fascinated by them as a kid.
Wait, so are these bells?
Yeah, no, that should be where the printer ribbon is.
Oh, maybe that's why it doesn't print anymore.
There's a ribbon that goes between those. There's two reels.
Technically,
that hold
Preston, it's an adding machine / Sibian.
It's about that size.
So there's still there's still addition, or there's still numbers on it from the last thing my grandmother typed, because my grandmother never stopped working. So my dad or my grandfather probably just handed her a calculator, and she just swapped it out. Was like, all right, I'm done with these numbers, and boom, on to the next thing.
What was it an accounting firm? What was it?
It was a HVAC plumbing company.
Oh, okay.
So they were right there on Snyder Avenue, and my grandmother was in the office and kept the books.
See, I want something like. Oh, okay, I have another idea then. Okay, you guys, Kathy, do you have any ideas now? You said you do.
Yeah.
Okay,
I know. I remember exactly what it was.
Yeah, I wrote down a couple more things, so I'll be ready for another show.
I think you guys all killed it.
Yeah, this says it's a Burroughs portable adding machine.
Look at how portable it is. Only weighs 112 pounds.
And this is the type of thing that if you were at a general store or something like that, because my grandparents owned a general store, and that's what they would use to ring up the receipts.
And Preston, you put this in like an antique store out, in any remote area, and a little extra dust on it, you could sell it for a lot of money.
Yeah, totally.
I bet you could, right? I mean, these things, people love these things.
Yeah, I was in a store just this weekend, and they had things like this all over decorating
How
the
much?
store.
I'm sorry.
No, it was a clothing store, and this was just filling out the shelves.
So is that out as decoration in your house?
It
Or you
is.
just- yeah.
It's in all
Marissa's
my.
got, I'm sorry to interrupt, she's got some cool antiques. You have antique cameras, radios? Or have you started doing radios yet?
I'd love to get an
I have a radio that's my boyfriend's grandfather. So all the cameras you'll see in a Zoom call or when I did my TV show, they were in the background. Those are all my grandparents.
They're kind of like the ones that you look down at,
Mhm.
you know?
Yeah.
You look down into they're really cool.
So it's everything from my grandparents, the old ones, like the Polaroid ones, to the ones my dad used in the 60s and
Like
the 70s.
A Browning camera, like the
One like that from
Yeah,
my grandfather,
right.
and then a Nikon from my parents and things like that. And then I have photos that I realized later that were developed on that and are printed and hanging on my wall from those cameras.
Cool.
Wow. Oh, excellent. Well done,
That's
Marissa.
awesome.
I love
Thanks,
it.
guys.
show and tell.
First ever Preston and Steve show and tell. And Marissa's adding machine. That's really cool. All right, so now we've given some ideas to
Yes,
Steve
now
and
we have
Kathy.
ideas. Yes.
Next time, I think we'll have a full class participation.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I sent you guys the link for my shoes. You guys might want to get them now before everybody gets them.
All right. Well, thank you guys. Let's take a break. Come back in a second. When we return, Mr. Alex Lifeson of Rush talking about his new band, Envy of None. His fellow bandmate, Andy Kern, will be joining us as well. We'll be back in a moment. Don't forget it's Tattoos Day as well. You want a Preston and Steve tattoo? Text the word tattoo to 39333. It's from Floating World Tattoo and Piercing on South Street. We'll be back in a few.
Preston and Steve.
Quickly, Nick, you wanted to plug the Big Climb coming up.
Yeah, we're really excited for it this year. Big Climb Philly benefits Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, and I've done Big Climb in the past, and it's been in a building in Center City. But this year, it's at the Link, which I'm really excited about. I got to go down to the Link yesterday. We did sort of a backstage tour and places of that building that I'd never been before, and what the course is going to look like. And it's a bunch of stairs at the beginning, and then basically up and down the stands as you go, and it's sort of around the building in the lower concourse. So it's May 6th. I would love for you to join Team Luke. My nephew Luke is in remission from leukemia. He's doing really well. But LLS is just an awesome organization, and we'd love to have you be a part of Team Luke. It's Saturday, May 6th. It's in the morning. All the information's up on my social media and on PrestonandSteve.com. But it's a great event, and it's going to be really cool to have it at the Link this year.
Nice. And you guys will be going up and down stairs as opposed to just all the way up, right?
There's a staircase in the close to one of the main entrances that goes up, I think, like 5 flights. And then so we go up that, and then we come down the ramps, and then we go up and down the stands quite a bit around the local concourse.
That's pretty cool.
And then down into like the locker rooms and the tunnels and stuff. So you come out onto the field at the end of it. And Preston, I think you had an event there last year, right? And
yes, it's with the Take Steps walk for the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation.
Yeah, and it's a cool place to have a charity event. So I'm psyched that it's there this year.
Excellent. All right. Well, good luck to you, sir. It's going to be awesome. I usually don't put a whole lot of stock in the National This Day, National That Day when it comes to food. Because sometimes we find out like there's multiple ones.
Yeah,
and, like
it's a
there's
bunch of
multiple
crap.
National Pancake Days and stuff like that. Although we do talk about that one, but today it's National Grilled Cheese Day.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful thing.
I am a massive fan of a good grilled cheese sandwich. We've talked about the pairing with tomato basil soup, which is one of my favorites.
It's when you get tomato soup and a good grilled cheese. That's about
It's a great
great
snow day activity.
What was the name of the place that we had?
Meltdown?
Meltdown.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Mother of God.
They were so good. The problem is that they were overpriced. You know what I mean? Because they were in and around the area.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if they're around that much anymore, but
I like riffs on the grilled cheese. I mean, I do like the standard easy way to go is just bread, butter, obviously to grill it with. And a good cheese, even just your standard American slices will work just fine. But if you throw in a little cheddar and stuff like that, or Gouda, it can get much better. But there's stuff you can add to it like pesto, tomato. Oh, yum, man.
Yeah. There's a guy who listens to our show, and he lives in Idaho. And we talked about him before. He apparently has the greatest grilled cheese recipe of all time.
Liar!
And he will not give it to me in writing.
Really?
Yeah, he wants me to call him so he can talk me through the steps.
Are you going to do it?
No.
Why?
Because it's not that.
You don't want to give your phone number.
No, not necessarily. No, because I make a good grilled cheese. I don't need your help.
All right,
bro.
what's your grilled cheese?
Listen, the secret ingredient is
love.
Is butter. Lots of butter.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just as simple as that.
So I'm going to mention a bit. The Couch Tomato has a grilled cheese sandwich that is extraordinary, and it uses the toast is buttered.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you have to.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how that's what makes it different than being toasted. Making it grilled is you use either some butter or oil, but butter is usually the way to go. So let me ask you this fundamental technique question when it comes to grilled cheese. Do you butter the bread?
No.
All right, how do you do it?
I do a straight up, and first of all, I have a griddle, so I like to make it on the electric griddle rather than on the frying pan or whatever. But I take a huge pat of butter and I stick that on the griddle and I let that melt,
There you
but
go.
not all the way.
Okay.
Just and then I throw the whole grilled cheese on that and I spread it around. Then I take another pat of butter and I put that on the top. I don't spread it. And then when it's time to flip it, I flip it and I allow that to melt and then I mix it around.
I was raised on buttering the bread.
Yes.
I'm down with that.
You have to butter the bread.
Yeah.
But the tough part of that is when you take butter and you spread it on untoasted bread, it can sometimes tear the bread a little bit. And you lose a little bit of your integrity and
your cohesion.
Sandwich.
So what they do a lot of times on these Grateful Dead fish lots is they'll have a paintbrush and they will take already melted butter and they will spread it with the paintbrush, and that's how they.
That's a
apply
great
that
way
as
to do
well.
it too. If you have the time to melt the butter ahead of time and take a brush and brush it onto the bread, that's probably the best technique. But I have come around on throwing the butter onto the warm skillet. And then putting the bread on top of that. But then you have the mystery of that other.
3 WMMR.
All right, thanks, Kath. Let's do this B-File thing another time.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
All right, we will start with this story. Mildred Simonariluto has been living the past year in anguish, fretting over a lost Pennsylvania Cash 5 lottery ticket with winning numbers to a $2.5 million jackpot. She bought the ticket last May at the Shop and Save in Murraysville, but after she realized she possessed the winning ticket 2 weeks later, she couldn't find it because she had donated the jacket where she had placed it with other clothing. She said, I was stupefied. There are no words for it. There's no expression.
Wow.
How can I get it back? So she said that she donated the jacket and other clothing to Vietnam Veterans of America, where she dispenses donations across the country and even outside of the U.S. Authorities with the Pennsylvania Lottery told her that she must possess the lottery ticket to claim the jackpot, but that ticket could be anywhere in the world.
I assume they would have cleaned out the pockets if they were going to donate it, right? If she was I mean, oh my God.
I think so. Maybe she just missed it. I don't know. But I mean, how badly would this torture you knowing that it's out there?
The one that blows my mind is the hard drive with the crypto. Remember that story?
Yeah, worth hundreds of millions of dollars or whatever. Yep. So she said, what else can I do? Cry out loud and hope that something will happen positive on my end.
Not going to happen.
Yeah, unfortunately, probably not. Arizona police officers recently located a stolen dog by using license plate recognition technology.
Dog had a car?
Nope. The little French bulldog named Kimber jumped out of her owner's truck on March 18th. Kimber's owner, Austin Evanson, left her truck running as she ran inside the store to grab something to drink. Well, Evanson returned to her car and find a rolled down window with Kimber nowhere to be seen. Now, you think somebody opened the door, rolled down the window, whatever got in there. She left the window. No, video footage from outside the store showed police that Kimber accidentally rolled the car window down.
Of course.
And then leapt out of the truck.
Yeah.
Kimber was seen walking around the area of the store.
I don't know where the hell I am.
Before a white Lexus SUV pulled up to park next to Evanson's car, the driver of the Lexus was seen picking Kimber up without attempting to locate her owner before then driving off.
By the way, you have to tell me if you're a cop.
Investigators then entered the plate number of the Lexus into the Flock Safety License Plate Reader. Flock.
Yeah.
Safety technology uses license plate recognition cameras that can be placed anywhere to find detailed information on license plates and vehicles.
Yeah.
Police.
So this could help you find a flock of dogs?
Yes, possibly. Police found and arrested the suspect within a few hours of Kimber being taken.
Oh, but arrested though? I mean, they didn't steal the dog. The dog escaped. They picked it up and took it. Like, I don't know what you are obligated to do.
I think
in order to not get arrested.
Yeah, I think that they took a look at the footage and, if you did find a dog, would you not maybe walk around to a few different people and go, hey.
Right.
It was at, where was it at? Was it at a convenience store, did it say?
It was some shopping.
Yeah, so
like that,
I would think that you would walk around and go, hey, I got a missing dog here, or go into a store and say something. So they're calling
I don't know. It's a
they're
gray
calling
area.
it theft. Yeah, Case, I kind of thought the same thing, too. I'm not sure.
They saved the dog's life, potentially.
The California woman with the world's longest tongue, which is 3.8 inches from outside of the mouth, showed off some of the tricks that she can perform with her massive mouth muscle, including removing Jenga blocks.
Dude, and the picture of her tongue, it's a formidable tongue. To me, it seems much longer than 3.8 inches.
Yeah, it looks that way, but it's the longest tongue in the world. So Chanel Tapper, for female, who has held the Guinness World Record for longest tongue female since 2010, said that her tongue, which measures 3.8 inches from the tip to her lips, gets her an array of reactions. She said, honestly, the best reaction I could ever get when someone sees my tongue is screaming. And I actually do like when people yell or scream in shock or horror sometimes.
Wow, Kathy's terrified. I think the fact that at the end of it is not as rounded, it actually comes down to sort of a serpentine demonic sort of devil tongue.
Yep. She said, but that's probably my favorite one because it's funny to me. It's a dramatic response. So she showed off some of the tricks that she's learned to perform with her tongue, including removing Jenga blocks, flipping plastic cups, and holding a spoon. She said, I like little fun, silly things like that, and that's what makes my tongue the most fun when I can do things that are outside of the box with it. She said that being a Guinness World Record holder has provided her with some unexpected opportunities, including appearing in an advertising campaign for the Italian fashion brand Diesel. So they actually
Now that
used
was
her.
a rim job.
Oh my God. In Florida, the state's attorney's office has filed charges against a former elementary school principal and a former teacher in connection with an underage house party in Cocoa Beach. I think this is a follow-up. I didn't go back to see if this is exactly the same one or not, but Elizabeth Hill Brodigan, a former principal of Theodore Roosevelt Elementary School, is facing a charge of child neglect, 5 counts of contributing to the delinquency of a minor, and 1 count of holding an open house party. Carly Anderson, a former 3rd grade teacher of the same elementary school, is facing 1 count of disorderly conduct and 1 count of disorderly intoxication. So they're trying those cases separately. Hill Brodigan can face up to 5 years in prison, 5 years of probation, $5,000 fine for neglect, and Anderson can face up to 60 days in jail and a $500 fine for each of the disorderly conduct and intoxication charges. So between 100 and 200 kids.
Come on, man.
Reportedly attended this booze-filled house party at Hill Brodigan's home. The White Lie Party was advertised on Snapchat, drawing kids from multiple schools, though the exact schools and ages were not specified. Students said these parties occurred at least once or twice a month.
I forget, were they charging for attendance?
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
It's unclear if police were called to previous parties, but police allege that there was underage drinking, marijuana use, fights, and at least 1 kid with a gun at the party.
You're the best principal ever.
A boy was found vomiting and shaking in the yard while a female was charged with DUI. Yeah, and they were doing that a couple times
a month? It's got to be expensive.
That's crazy. Well, yes, and stupid.
Stupid, but expensive.
All right, and that is what I have in the bizarre file for you. All right, we're going to do, can I do this?
Yes.
Okay. I have another $50 gift card from our friends at Red Robin. So all you need to do is text the word RED to 610-660-9333, and you got a shot at winning a $50 gift card from Red Robin, valid at Lehigh Valley Restaurant Group Red Robin locations. And they have an extensive menu and locations in both Collegeville and Neshaminy locally, and they got something to offer for the whole family. And are you hungry? You got the family to feed, all that stuff. They are on call for your catering needs. They brought by their deluxe burger bundle today.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, there's a lot there. 20-person burger bar is what that comes with. 12 toppings and sauces and cheeses and all kinds of stuff. Gourmet wing and sauce bar, house salad, Yukon chips, and 20 fudge-filled chocolate chip cookies, all with that bundle. So you can get that. Go to Red Robin PA. RedRobinPA.com. But in the meantime, text the word RED to 610-660-9333, and you'll have a chance to win a $50 gift card. Coming back in just a moment.
Preston and Steve.
What the heck
take
do
it
you
off,
do?
and then you throw down more butter and let that melt, or do your technique where you put it on ahead of time.
Yeah, I put that pat of butter. And, and it's a big old pat.
Do you guys remember a butter campaign that was, give them a little pat of butter?
Give them that pat. Yes,
Butter.
absolutely.
Give them a little pat of butter. Butter. It just made me think of
It was
that.
also the theme song to Law and Order SVU.
I did not know that initially.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I have a technical question.
Yes.
Wawa has a campaign right now for these grilled paninis.
Oh my God, my daughter loves them.
Right. And they look terrific. They look like they're a lot.
Yeah.
One of the grilled paninis is grilled with mac and cheese.
That's her favorite.
Okay. Is that a grilled cheese sandwich?
Ooh.
Yeah.
No, it's a panini.
Wait a second.
I'd call it a grilled. Well, it's not grilled because it's
It's a panini.
Well, it depends
it's
on.
not ciabatta, it's panini.
Right, I know, but it depends on whether they butter or use oil to
I have a follow-up question.
Now there's I know they put it in a panini press. Maybe that is considered that because it may be a grilled cheese with pasta.
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
You
Now, do you think, follow-up question, Wawa would send us some so we could sample them on there?
Well, a panini press is a...
It's kind of a grilled cheese, right?
No, it's a whole different sandwich. It's a panini.
Now, let me ask you guys this, because
Says Master Chef. Master Chef Kathy Romano.
Just a few years ago, 3-4 years ago, I came to this amazing
country
revelation of using leftover meatballs, and I make a grilled cheese meatball sandwich. Now, I don't necessarily consider it a meatball first sandwich. I consider it a grilled cheese sandwich first. With meatballs, because what I'll do is I cut up the meatballs, I cook them in the microwave, then I put them on, the cheesed bread, but I use provolone cheese, and then I use the sauce to taste, not overly sauce it, but like sauce to taste, and then I grill that with the butter and all that, and I'm telling you, it is amazing.
Here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking the way to get creative with grilled cheese is using the different types of cheese. Once you start to add in elements
like meat,
you're on your way to a cheeseburger.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you on that, Steve. I think it takes it. I think
so. It's a meatball sandwich and not a grilled cheese.
I think so. I think that once you add meat, that's the main ingredient.
Right.
That has become the main ingredient.
The cheese needs to be the star.
The cheese needs to be the star.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
You don't have to.
That's the name of my book.
And tell us about your book, The Cheese Needs to Be the Star. Well, it's really pretty much a look back at my career in radio.
Preston, have you seen the number of texts coming in saying that one should use mayo instead of butter?
There's a guy on the line right now, or girl.
Okay.
Yeah,
I've seen it. I have not dared to try
rebuke you.
No.
I've not dared to try it, but that is a technique. So we have a few people. Let me go to Dave here. Hi, Dave. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, what's up, Dave?
Not much. Yeah, mayo is it. It doesn't tear the bread like butter would, and it fries up crisp.
Well, mayo is also...
it's a wholly different flavor than butter, though.
It would make...
You know what I mean?
I would have to try it, honestly.
Yeah.
I'll do it today.
Yeah. I would have to try it. So
I like it's odd because, Steve, I do like mayonnaise, but the idea of searing it like that seems kind of gross.
There are a lot of eggs in mayo, yes?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's eggs and oil.
Right.
So,
Yeah,
So you got both ingredients. Yeah, you know what?
But
I would
there's
have
no
to
eggs
try
and
it.
butter.
Ooh.
There's no eggs and
And
butter,
you
though.
can't tune a fish.
If you don't tune your butt.
You know,
I don't know.
dated a girl for a hot minute who they made their French toast with cheese. And so now I'm wondering if you were to make a grilled cheese and then kind of coat everything in the egg wash.
Wait, it's a Monte Cristo sandwich is made that way. It's French toast, and then in between is cheese and turkey, and then apple slices.
What would they do, Casey?
She would make, and I never had it. We didn't date long enough for me to try her.
Yeah.
But they would do their
Have you
French
tasted
toast.
my daughter's sandwich?
They would do French toast with cheese.
French toast with cheese?
Yeah.
I don't know if I like that.
I don't, well, not with syrup. I mean, but if it was a grilled cheese, like French toast style, I'd do that.
All right, hang on. I want to go to Jenna because she does the mayo technique as well. Hi, Jenna. Good morning.
Good morning, guys. How are you doing?
Wonderful. All right, Jenna, what is it that's so much better with mayonnaise instead of butter?
It's just the flavor of it. I don't know. I grew up eating mayonnaise on every single sandwich, and my son likes just cheese sandwiches with mayonnaise, and it's easier just to throw it in the frying pan and say, hey, here's a grilled cheese, and he's not a big fan of butter, so that was the big difference there.
Okay.
But you can also use bacon grease. I don't know if Kathy remembers the Conshohocken Cafe that was on Fan Street. I worked there all through college and everything, and we used to use bacon grease for our grilled cheeses, too.
That's a great idea. We used to save our bacon grease when I was a kid growing up.
And drink it in the morning.
No, we would not drink it in the morning, but we could use it to as a base to cook things with, a la, shortening or
It was a standard.
lard
We had
or whatever.
We had those jars, mason jars. Of,
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what we
It was a
keep it.
standard.
Or like an old
Yeah.
jelly jar or
Yep.
something like that.
And
Yeah.
my mother used to hollow out a bacon.
Cheap Trick, making you sing along this morning as you're driving wherever you may be headed to on 93.3 WMMR. 12 minutes after 10. Just to remind you, we're like right on the edge of No Sad Bro.
It's absolutely true.
And officially getting into that mode. So, Word of the Week prize is given away tomorrow. We got that letter coming up here in just a little while. But something else to give away now via the lesson question. 4-pack of tickets for Body Worlds at the Franklin Institute. If you're interested in taking a shot at this, just go ahead and text the word Zoom to 610-660-9333, and that way you'll have the link. And if you know the answer to this question, you can click on that link and get in line and get ready. And maybe we'll bring you up and answer this question. So the question that we posed to you this morning, and we'll go to one of our guests. In order to help get some sleep before bed, Eric Andre does a ton of what? All right, let's see if you heard that and you remember. In order to get some sleep before bed, Eric Andre, our guest, told us he does a ton of what? And again, you text the word Zoom to 610-660-9333, and you'll get in the queue for that, and we will see if you end up getting a chance to win. And while you're doing that, we'll do this.
The trash business is a gold mine.
93.3 WMMR with Preston and Steve's Hollywood Trash.
All right, let's get some stories. Steve, what's up this morning?
Well, Denise Richards reveals splitting from ex-husband Charlie Sheen in 2005 was very, very difficult. Richards says Sheen will always be a part of her thanks to the herpes. Blake Lively getting dragged online for being a hypocrite after revealing she improvised grabbing Henry Golding's crotch while filming a scene in the movie A Simple Favor. For his part, Golding says he did not mind the improv at all, noting that he exploded in his pants.
Oh my God.
He enjoyed that. And finally, Dancing with the Stars and Bachelorette star Jen Tran has reportedly returned to school in pursuit of her master's degree. Tran says the biggest hurdle so far is figuring out what a master's degree is. And that's your Hollywood Trash.
All right, thank you, Steve. So we will wait when we can get somebody up here in just a second. So again, the question that we asked you this morning for the lesson question is, in order to help get some sleep before bed, Eric Andre does a ton of what? Text the word Zoom to 610-660-9333. And if you happen to know, maybe we can get you on and you might be able to answer. So Sam, by the way, Marissa's out today. Sam is handling all
everything
of this stuff himself, which is a bit of a handful. He's telling me to hang on a second. Should I go ahead and do music news?
Wait. Are we ready to go? He said do music news.
Okay, he said, here we go. All right, here we go.
Wait.
Oh, that's the winning music.
Now, Preston and Steve's Music News on 93.3 WMMR.
Yeah. All right, we'll start with this. Shannon Larkin and Tony Rambola, longtime drummer and guitarist of Godsmack, respectively, have departed the band. Larkin explained that after extensive discussions with bandmates Sully Erna and Robbie Merrill, they mutually agreed to part ways due to Larkin and Rambola's desire to retire from touring. He emphasized that the decision was friendly and based on personal choices, noting their combined decades of touring experience.
Larkin
said that he's grateful for the fans and sent well wishes for the band's future. It can definitely, touring can weigh on you.
Wear you down.
And some people have had enough. Here's another story of people that are leaving. Bad Wolves have announced the departure of guitarist Doc Coyle and bassist Kyle Conkill.
Kyle Conkill?
Kong.
That's what they call him in the band. Where's Kong?
I was hoping you were going to do that.
Kong.
So Dan Coyle and bassist Kyle Conkill.
Kong.
Coyle, who had been with the band for nearly... had been with the band for nearly 9 years, expressed that the decision was amicable, but came about because he's creatively burned out. He mentioned how proud he is of the band's achievements and support from fans. Conkill also shared his decision to step down after 8 years, citing a desire to...
Who is this person?
Pursue.
It's my cousin Nell.
Pursue new creative endeavors. He emphasized how important it is
Give her some peanut butter. She'll go away.
It is to him to give his full commitment to any project, felt that he could no longer do so with Bad Wolves. Replacing them are returning guitarist Chris Kane and bassist Kevin Creekman.
Who are they replacing?
They're replacing Kyle Conkill.
That's the name they gave me. Kong.
What was that first one?
That's Spicoli.
That's the name they gave me.
Oh, that's the name they gave me. I'm like, I couldn't understand.
Bud, what's your problem?
Yeah. All right, replacing them, like I said, are returning Chris Kane and Kevin Creekman. And Kane had previously been a part of the band until his departure in April of 2022. Should I jump in now?
Nah.
No?
All right.
I'll finish music news, and then we will get our winner who's on hold right now. Con.
Kong, everyone.
Patty Smith performed at a rally in New York City this week, hoping to prevent a downtown park from being turned into housing. The city previously announced plans to turn the space into an urban oasis, though they've received pushback from celebs ranging from Smith to Robert De Niro. At the rally on Tuesday, Smith performed Peaceable Kingdom. The artist had previously pushed back against the development of plans earlier this year, writing a letter to New York City Mayor Eric Adams. And then one last thing, Roger Daltrey certainly feeling the march of time, and it won't stop him from taking the stage, though. During a charity concert on last Thursday in London's Royal Albert Hall, he shared a surprising health update. He said, the joys of getting old mean you go deaf. He's 81, by the way.
81. He looks pretty friggin' good.
And he told the audience, I also now have the joy of going blind. He said, fortunately, I still have my voice. But he added, if I lose that, then I'll have a full Tommy.
It's true.
Afterwards, Pete Townsend launched into their next song in the show, and it was raising money for the Teenage Cancer Trust. But later on in the set, Townsend, who is 79, revealed that he's recovering from a knee replacement.
Yeah, and he's adapted the song now. It's Behind Glaucoma Eyes.
And he said 4.5 weeks ago, I had my left knee replaced. And he shared
his left nut
the injury came from dancing.
Oh my God!
He said maybe I should auction I should auction off the old ones.
What kind of loser injures themselves while dancing?
Yeah, come on.
It was a Madonna song, but Townsend said he's doing fine. He has a little cart, a little scooter that allows him to transport bagels.
Carries bagels and such.
Yeah, that's good.
By the way, he was talking about the song, this is Roger Daltrey, Won't Get Fooled Again. He says that he is not going to do the scream anymore because he said it's brutal on the vocal cords. He said, I'm not going to do the scream. I'm going to get the effing audience to do it. He said, I've done that scream for 55 years and I've had enough of it. I don't even want to try it now. He said, they can do the scream and I'll do everything else. I'm more into singing these days. At the age of 80, I think I deserve to be, he said.
Replace it with a recording of We Guess What I Get to Do.
Yeah. All right, we can now try to get the answer to today's lesson question. And let's go, first of all, and welcome Will, who is joining us via Zoom. Yo, Will, how you doing, buddy?
What's up, guys?
Hey, all right, so we're doing great, Will. We need an answer to this in order to help get some sleep before bed. Eric Andre does a ton of what?
Every last bit of black tar heroin.
That is correct. Nice job, Will. Hang on, buddy. We got you. You're going to go to the Body Worlds exhibit at the Franklin Institute. We'll give you 4 tickets. You can see 20 stunning full-body plastinates and over 150 real specimens. You can explore the wonders of the human body like never before. Body Worlds at the Franklin Institute. You can buy tickets at at fi.edu. All right, we have a final break to take before we come back and wrap things up. So stay put. We'll get that letter of the day for the word of the week when we return.
Preston and Steve.
Pills.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Did
so
you ever,
unique.
It's just a thing you used to do.
Yeah. Okay.
That's Southern.
Did you? Okay. This is a 2-part question. And what are your thoughts on mustard, whether it be yellow mustard or spicy mustard on your grilled cheese? And what do you consider a grilled ham and cheese? Is that still grilled cheese, or are we going into the other territory?
Okay. You're raising a good point with the ham inclusion. I still believe that the cheese, as per Preston's best-selling novel, the cheese is the star.
Yeah. I would never say that. I would never say a grilled cheese with ham.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd say it's a grilled ham and cheese.
Exactly.
So ham takes top billing.
Okay.
I don't think it's a grilled cheese anymore.
It does take top, but you have to do that with mustard, right? Grilled ham and cheese with mustard. Yeah.
You don't have to be a star to be in my sandwich.
No.
And you know what's oddly is good on that is a little bit of pineapple.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, believe it or not.
Come over.
Yeah.
I should probably try that today, too.
Yeah. See if Wawa can do that.
So I forgot what I was going to say.
Well, I'll ask you a question.
Mustard?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think mustard with a grilled cheese can be good.
Yeah.
But it's great all by itself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Absolutely.
Spicy brown, though, right?
I could do either, but I prefer spicy brown.
Especially if ham is involved.
I'm going with Casey's take on that.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on, I'm sorry to do this, grilled peanut butter and jelly?
No.
Because I know we're talking about grilled cheese.
That's like a hot pocket. And I
would say unequivocally,
back to hell, demon.
Go suck it.
Yeah.
No.
Really?
No, the idea of that, no. It
That's
doesn't-
that's not a grilled cheese at all. It's not. There's no
not.
cheese.
It is
It's not
not.
certainly. You know what? It's not.
In
It's
fact,
not a full
I'm gonna see
traditional
myself out.
turkey dinner.
I find it disrespectful that on National Grilled Cheese
Yeah.
Day that
Yeah.
you would even raise that question.
I'm begging for your forgiveness.
Why don't you go into a synagogue and say, "What if Jesus was the son?"
All right,
You don't do that.
we were overrun with mayonnaise phone calls.
Do we go in depth? Do we go a current affair on this?
Well, Jared had a moment at a restaurant. Hi, Jared. Hi, Jared. You're on the air. Good morning.
You guys rock.
Thank you, man. All right, what's the incident that happened with the mayonnaise?
So I used to run a restaurant back in the day, and they were getting really behind, and it was like a grilled cheese day that we were doing. So I got back there, and we had like fresh churned butter, so it was like real soft. Well, I messed up, and I put mayo on all these grilled cheeses, put them down, sent them out. Well, I ended up coming back, and they were like, oh, like they were the best grilled cheese we ever had. Come to find out, I put mayo on all of them.
All of
So
them.
that actually became our biggest seller.
So that was your signature grilled cheese sandwich was prepared with mayo. To your own personal taste, do you like it better?
I wouldn't say it's better, but it gives it a bite. Like you use it with like Cooper Sharp cheese, like it's completely different.
Huh.
So like we did a different thing. We actually did a condiment grilled cheese. So if you wanted mustard on it, we actually did mustard on the grill, and that hardens up real nice. It gives it a real a real crispy bite.
On the outside of it, you did mustard and then grilled it?
Yep. And it
Wow.
actually comes out really good.
Cray.
All right, interesting.
I'm concerned now about the number of restaurants that are bringing sandwiches like this to us.
Yes.
And what that will do.
We need to spread it out.
Too many.
We need, really.
All right, so Steven actually sent me a few grilled cheese from Food Network, grilled cheese recipes, and there's a few of them here that I've done before and like to have from time to time. Grilled tomato and cheese, I think, is a great
That's
one.
a standard, and I do love that one.
Well, now the tomato's taking top billing there, Preston.
No, it's
No.
not.
You said grilled
Well,
tomato
you're
and
right.
cheese.
It says grilled tomato and cheese.
I would say grilled
call it a
cheese and
grilled cheese
tomato.
with tomato.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
There is a grilled cheese with bacon. You can put it on there,
And that's grilled cheese with bacon.
which is awesome. Cheddar and apple grilled cheese.
All right.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you ever
Bacon.
have like apple slices and cheese together, that's, or fruit and cheese, that can work
Makes
out
it
nicely.
healthy.
Sandwich you can eat on the run.
Smoked Gouda and roasted red pepper grilled cheese.
Do I like Gouda?
I like
you do.
Gouda, yeah.
You like Gouda a lot.
All right.
You know, you'll find good Gouda, Abu Dhabi.
I have a story in the bizarre file with Abu Dhabi coming up. in a
I'm
while.
thinking a grilled brie
Yeah.
would be
Yes.
yummy.
I've had it.
A grilled ham and brie.
Yes.
Is fantastic.
on a baguette.
Oh my God!
So good.
Nick, my wife makes a it's an app she'll put out at parties, but it's brie and it's grilled in or it's baked in like a challah.
Like a baked brie?
Yeah.
Yes. And it gets all runny and
there's a
gooey.
little bit of raspberry or something too.
Yeah, but you know what, Steve? It's got that protective shell on the outside.
and it gives it cohesion.
God bless that shell.
Hang on a second here. Let me go to Garrett has a recipe. Hi, Garrett. Good morning.
Yo, good morning. Sorry to bother you guys at work.
Nah, brother. What's up?
Yeah, so check it out. So a couple years ago, I was getting creative in the kitchen, and I was making a grilled cheese, and I was like, you know what, I want to get a little creative here. So I scratched the cheese entirely, and I had some leftover buffalo chicken dip from the football game before, and I spread that on there, just made it like a normal grilled cheese. Actually, the same way Casey does. Like I take the slab of butter, throw it down, then I kind of like mush it around a little bit. You know what I mean? Like swirl it around. But dude, I'm telling you, that is a banging sandwich.
So
I love buffalo.
I guess buffalo chicken dip has cream cheese in it, so that's technically in the cheese family.
Well, we throw some cheddar cheese in our buffalo chicken dip too, so kind of
Okay.
we get in there.
Speaking as someone who has
Interesting. Thank you,
now
Garrett.
about 160 packets of Star-Kissed buffalo. I love that.
Buffalo tuna?
But the buffalo tuna is great. The buffalo dip in
buffalo dip. I'm
every
sorry.
application, that
Yeah.
buffalo flavor, whatever it is. You said it has cream cheese in it. I didn't know that.
The dips usually
Okay,
do.
yeah. Delicious.
I will say that Panera, they sometimes can hit or miss on some of their things, but consistently their tomato soup and their grilled cheese is good.
So
I agree.
What's the new What's the new sandwich that they're
the Panera?
They mention a type of pepper. It's like a
Freshy pepper?
It's you know what I'm talking about? Have you seen the thing?
Is
For
it
this
like-
new-
like-
it's like a new like a Mediterranean.
You know what, Steve? They should probably send us samples.
I'm intrigued.
Yes,
Is it,
it's a new thing that they're pushing.
Wouldn't
and
be
it's
a
got
poblano pepper, would it?
no, I don't know, but it is a red pepper that apparently has this incredibly exotic, wonderful taste.
Okay, wait, like a vegetable or like the crushed red pepper?
A vegetable.
No, like a vegetable pepper.
Side note, stuffed peppers. Fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Big fan.
Yeah,
Like you
well,
put
we should
sausage
have
in
a
there.
restaurant and call it Sergeant Pepper.
Well, listen, it's sort of offensive that you bring it up on grilled cheese day.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You're right.
I mean,
I said side note.
Stay in your lane, buddy. All right, roasted poblano and mushroom grilled cheese.
No poblano.
I like a poblano.
I do like poblano.
I like it the poblano.
I like saying poblano. Fun syllables.
I come
know what-
from
you know
the
what a-
village of Poblano.
Do you know what a smoked poblano is? An ancho chili.
Oh.
If you ever see ancho chili.
I don't know why I
Ancho
reacted
cheese.
like that. Yeah.
I believe so.
And ancho cheese.
Wait, so it's the same thing?
It's the same thing, but it's smoked. It's prepared differently, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
Here, this one sounds interesting. Grilled cheese with everything bagel seasoning.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Wait, in or on?
Don't know. I would have to click on the recipe, and it would take me off of this.
All right.
This is just the names of them.
I
So
think
it's
at Trader Joe's you can get the seasoning that's just called everything but the bagel.
Yep.
And it's terrific.
Yes, I agree.
But one of the best, so there was maybe you've had it as well, Nick, over at Harvest. They would do like a cedar plank salmon, but it would be crusted with the everything bagel crust.
I love a crust.
William Idol, little assistance from Mr. Steve Stevens on that song, Still Dancing, 93.3 WMMR. 10:30 on a Thursday morning, and we are coming to the end of our program today. Hopefully you had a chance to stick around for most of it. If not, go back, check the podcast. Plenty of good things for you to feast your ears upon, or you can check our YouTube stream if you want to get a visual taste of what we had on. And we
That's
did have
right.
some guests here this morning. So I would like to thank Mr. Adam Hutter.
Yes.
And Bizarre Bree for being here. Bizarre Bryn. For being here for the World Oddities Expo. It's this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. at the Pennsylvania Convention Center. All interesting, odd, and rare things. You can go to worldodditiesexpo.com to get your tickets. Then we had the amazing Eric Andre.
Yeah.
And he was talking about his podcast and whatever. It's called Bombing with Eric Andre. And he's a funny guy, cool guy. And he's got a lot going on in his world. And thanks to Red Robin as well.
Oh, my God.
For dropping off all the burgers.
Huge spread.
All the goodies and all the giveaways for you as well. It was great. And I want to reiterate the announcement that we made. It's time to get the Preston and Steve Show live band karaoke at the MMRBQ up and running again. And in order to have that up and running, we need audition videos from you or someone you know who would like to get and try out their inner rock star live in front of a guaranteed fired up audience. And all you have to do is send us over that audition. And we're going to choose 10 people. All 10 of those people will get 4 packs of MMRBQ tickets too.
Did we have our largest age spread last year? I think we had like a
Or like the kid and
then the grandmother.
Yeah, we had a woman who had a grandchild.
Yeah.
So probably, yeah. And if you know somebody who should be doing this, let them know. Just go to WMMR.com and you can get the details. You can even grab a link and send it over to your friend who's, an amateur singer and always wanted to do this. And it's not singing to a backing track. It's singing with a band.
By the way, we're right there with you. We're hanging out with you.
Yeah.
We'll pat you on the back and you'll be good to go.
Yep. So that is up and running. So the deadline is on the 21st. All right. Letter of the day. All right, here we go.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Now, the Daily Letter. And the Preston and Steve Show is brought to you today by the letter.
V as in
We have $500 and a Minecraft movie family prize pack. And the prize pack features 4 Fandango tickets, 4 official film posters, 2 Minecraft foam swords, 4 Minecraft sunglasses, and 2 Minecraft activity sheets. And a Minecraft movie theater is going to hit, Minecraft movie is going to hit theaters on April 4th. We are watching the montage of Jackie Bam Bam getting us the letter of the day for the Word of the Week prize. And that is where Casey got that whole thing from, because he would give us a letter and then he would go, oh, and make all these weird gestures.
He's the best.
I love the pointing.
His shaky pointing.
Shaky
You know, he's just,
has a whistle here and one.
There's only one Jackie Bam Bam. There's nothing that comes anywhere close.
By the way, again, we come in and he is still from his shift, is still working, putting his shows together
every day.
And he leaves about 7:30, 7:15 in the morning. That's how much time he's putting.
That's how important.
He gets done at midnight and stays till then.
But that's how important you are, and you listening right now are to him. Like he takes this very, very serious because of you.
It's true. All right, I want to thank our sponsors. The Preston and Steve Show is brought to you today by Dunkin'. Preston and Steve Show runs on Dunkin'. Also brought to you by Acme Markets Fresh Foods, local flavors. Tomorrow for No Sad Bro, Will Osprey of the AEW will be in our studio.
He's the guy right now, man.
We will have comedian Luis J. Gomez in the studio. And we'll say hi to our friends at 6ABC live on the air. That's it. We're done. Rage on. Have yourself a great day and spend the afternoon with Pierre Robert. He's in next. Bye-bye, gang.
Mm-hmm.